Sign the thing. Sign the thing. Sign the thing.
I got sign
Sign
the
the
thing.
thing. You gotta sign the thing, bro.
My brother, you know. My G. You get me? That's how we do the thing, blood. Like what, blood? You get
That
me?
all the Mason documentation that we asked him to submit, you know, he has submitted them. The issue is that there's a particular document that his mom has to sign because the citizenship is being done through her. That's what needs to be done. The mom just needs to sign a document.
People, big up on yourself. Welcome back to another edition of the Reggae Boyz Weekly. Once again, joined by the man himself, the biggest and the baddest co-host, the king himself, Mikel Arteta. Picked up 3 points today down by the Emirates Stadium. Fantastic win for the Gunners. Gunners are Gunners. I want to say it.
Anyone, brother.
Yeah, this man might mute it. Oh, yeah, you might go there.
Brother, I want to mute.
Anyone. Yeah, people was a... Oh. It was a good watch. Martin Odegaard, you know, linking up with Bukayo Saka. Good watch. Ethan Nwaneri came on, got a debut. Not debut goal, but got his first senior goal in professional football. I get me. So it was a good day out for Arsenal, picking up 3 massive points. City dropping points once again. I think from this day going forward, Arsenal can only ask for Liverpool to drop some points as well. If they, I still think Arsenal is in the title race. I put it as this: if City remains inconsistent throughout the season and injury-free Arsenal having the likes of Martin Odegaard available for majority of the season, Bukayo Saka, etc., I think they'll eventually win the league, because with Liverpool not really signing anyone in the summer transfer window, I think they only signed, was it Endo, or Endo was from Jurgen Klopp time?
Oh, brother, one person them signed and it was Chiesa upon loan, nobody else. And Chiesa no player game.
Yes, so Endo was... Yeah, so Endo from Klopp time, Yeah, so I feel like injuries might catch up on Liverpool. And listen, the key player for Liverpool is Salah. Let's see, if Liverpool not Salah, brother, Dagnam them supply, isn't it? So I kind of see it. But people, big up on yourself. Before we get started, let me just say a quick couple things, people, before we play the intro for you guys. As you guys join, just go ahead and smash up that like button, hit that subscribe button as well, share the video, and leave your thoughts in the comment section as we go along. And let me just get straight into the show, the intro for you guys.
It's time to rise up. Stand and take your place. Rise up. Shine like the sun. Rise up. The journey has just begun. Rise up. Rise up. Stand like the brave. Rule your destiny. Be the best that you can be. You know we start from the bottom and we reach right over the top. No matter where you do, you know say that we can't stop. We stand up and salute down to the yellow, the green, the black. And make them know.
Yes, people, big up on yourself. Yo, quick technical, well, is that technical difficulty? They can talk to people them quickly. 1 second.
All right, Father. So as you guys know, we're going to go through, we have a few topics to cover today. So we're going to talk about Mason Greenwood and his mother. As you guys all know, causing issues regarding his passport, him getting his passport. So we're going to touch upon that. Also, first I want to talk about Royal Tracey, because you know, say him then a few with Royal Tracey from the other day. So yeah, we're going to delve into some comments that Royal Tracey made. We'll also talk about Damion Lowe and the fact say he blatantly told a Reggae Boyz fan for the sucking mother on social media. And like, we're just going to talk about that, what it means. Should a player of his caliber, an ambassador of the country, the vice captain of the national team, someone that young people are going to be looking up to, our young players, should someone really be doing that on the internet? We don't really see it worldwide with a whole lot of other professional players who are even at higher levels than him. You don't really see them respond to people in a comment section in that manner. And a lot of them hear or see a whole lot worse things than what Damion Lowe did hear or see that he responded to. So yeah, we have a touch on that. Remember, get the likes up. Remember to like the video. The best way to get the content out there, the best way to support is to like the video, share the content. Hit the share button and send it to a group if you're in a group right now till press a forward back. Hit the subscribe button as well if you're new. Me have a goal personally for those of you guys that are from my channel. Me need to get 3,500 subscribers before the end of this month. You see me? I need around 100 more or so, right around that. So yeah, man, if you're new here, just go ahead and smash that subscribe button. I'm just go ahead and play back the Mason Greenwood thing for you guys.
Sign the thing. Sign the thing. Sign the thing. Sign the thing. You go and sign the thing, bro.
My brother, my G. You get me? That's how we do the thing, blood. Like what, blood? You
It's
get
that
me?
all the Mason documentation that we asked him to submit, he has submitted them. The issue is that there's a particular document that his mom has to sign because the citizenship is being done through her. That's what needs to be done. The mom just needs to sign a document.
Yeah, people, so that was Roy Simpson. So back again, people, back like me never left before. So once again, people, big up on yourself. Welcome back to the Reggae Boyz Weekly. Sorry about that, people. Before we get started, again, just go ahead and smash up the like button, hit that subscribe button, share the video as well to your friends and family and to your dog as well. Not the dog as in your brethren, the dog within at the kennel coming. No same of a device. Now, people have a few things we want to talk about today. Damion Lowe. We're going to talk about Damion Lowe, the vice captain of the Reggae Boyz team. Basically got himself in a bit of pickle by telling a Reggae Boyz supporter about his mom. And, you have some Reggae Boyz fans out there trying to justify Damion Lowe disrespecting a fan. And it baffles me that you have a national team where players beg for the fans to come to the stadium and yet still you have a player within the national team, a vice captain, disrespecting a fan of the team. I think it's quite rude of Damion Lowe. And, it kind of speaks to why he's not so much of a good player in general, not only for the national team, but on the wider scale of things on the club level. Damion Lowe is really, really average. And I think because of the fact he's so emotional and, he doesn't think through things, it kind of overpowers him and his decision making. Also going to talk about Craig Butler as he was attacked. Well, not Craig Butler was attacked, but his property was attacked by allegedly someone who was once of Phoenix Football Academy. So we're going to get into that. Also going to get into Mason Greenwood and his mom, people. His mom is kind of causing some bit of issues surrounding a signature. She needs to put pen to paper so that Mason Greenwood can come and represent Jamaica land we love. So she is, the person responsible at this moment in time in terms of getting this Mason Greenwood thing over the line. Also, we're going to touch on Oral Tracey. Is Oral Tracey pushing a local agenda? Have a few clips from one play. I myself, they get myself in some trouble with some people. They must say, yo, Presser, you can't call Oral Tracey Dunce Ray. And people might go explain the Dunce thing. You get me? So I go explain the Dunce thing. But first of all, I'm going to start off with Damion Lowe. So as we said, people, let me just bring it up on the screen. After the game against the US men's national team, Damion Lowe, after the defeat, he made a post on Instagram kind of reflecting on the defeat over both legs. And, there was a fan that went into his comment section and basically stated, decking a morning, bro, that would suit you better. Basically I say, yo, Damion Lowe, good, so come try a different profession like how football now work out for you, like how good at the sport. So Head of State 31, which is his Instagram name, Damion Lowe, responded by saying SYM and go look at work. Now, people, I find this really disturbing that the vice captain, at least of the Reggae Boyz national team, is telling a fan, a supporter of the team to go suck their mother. You get me? I say, no, we have a situation where Damion Lowe, as well as many other respective players of this national team, beg for fans coming to the stadium, and the vice captain is going to not go to his way, but the vice captain is going to respond in such a manner. And I think it's really rude and disgusting behavior from Damion Lowe. And let me tell you this, bro. I tell people recently, Leon Bailey get enough stick from people. You get me? I say, enough people say some really rude and bad things in Leon Bailey comment section. People, I mean, never see Bailey respond to a comment because when you're at a certain level, you don't need to respond to comments. You get me? I say, so Damion Lowe, I feel like him step out of line. What you have to do with the situation?
Yeah, bro, I agree 100% because, like you said, I did mention it when you got off. A whole lot of other players out there, they get worse than what he's saying. Like, brother, the man need to disrespect Lowe, in my opinion. He's just trolling, right? Him basically, I say, yo, watch your style, yeah, brother. You're not good at what you're doing. You had a poor game. But come lay some roof with me tomorrow. You see me, because football on the field. Bro, what is wrong with that? bro, anyone that responds in the way that Damion Lowe responds, them feel guilty, or them just feel them have some sort of emotional problems, dog. You see me? You don't need to tell a man about his mother in that situation, bro. Honestly. And again, as you said, yeah, big fans for come out in the stadium. The team now perform 3 matches in a row. The attendance higher and higher in every single game that we play, right? And you know, give nothing. So if a man tell you say your football enough for you, go lay some roof with your morning, and then you have to tell him SYM go look work. And then some people have the guts to come and tell me say SYM means shut your mouth. Brother, that's something like on sense, brother. Where I tell me. Even if you me that say shut your mouth, go look at work, that still don't make no sense. It's still done from Damion Lowe. Because the man literally I tell you say him have a work and he want you to come work with him. Zine? So even if you me that say shut your mouth and go look at work, that still don't make no sense. Because I tell you to come work with him and stop work where you work. Say. You see me? So brother, that just stupid, dog. And I made mention of the fact that as a football player, the vice captain and ambassador, somebody where take picture for Adidas and them think they get tagged with Adidas. You have a certain level of responsibility. So when you reach them certain level there, bro, you just load certain things. You see the fan they tell Lowe for go suck his mother kind of ready. Then more than Lowe. Because you know my head darker the seals. Because if a man this way, me but in that case, that is not even a diss, brother. That is a troll. When you get certain trolls as a professional baller, you just laugh that off. And if you have an issue with it, or such a huge issue with it, block the person and move. You see me? Come on, brother. Like that, but that just never sit right with me, dog. It just screams, I feel so bad because I feel guilty. I know I'm not good. I'm tired of all of the people that tell me I'm not good. That's how it said to me. That no look like a player that is confident in his ability to do better next time around and just shrug this off on his shoulder and move on. These things clearly are affecting him. And believe it or not, football is a mentality sport. You are going to face these things. So if you want to be a top level, elite level footballer, you have to be able to face criticism. Especially if you're asking people to spend their money to come out and support you. If a man spending money and spending time to come out and support you, and he does not get what he was expecting or is not happy with it, he's going to speak about it in any profession, in any walk of life. If you go store and you buy something, where them a hype up, zine, and it no good. You have to tell them, say, brother, what is on a hype up and make man spend man money upon? You know, see me buy back that again, brother. You see me? So it's just something that you just have to take on the chin and move. And he clearly lacks emotional intelligence. You see me? Clearly, bro. Them things you're not supposed to get to your head as an experienced international football. The man must say 32 now, you know? No, brother. That's not supposed to get to your head. And like it's a little youth at 18 and him not used to the roots now, brother. You see me? That's why I'm not good. Because he's brainless and he acts brainless. You see me? He acts brainless and brother, the same way him behave on the football field, it's reminiscent of how him behave in the comment section there. Brainless and stupid. Go through.
No, I definitely agree in terms of, you know, his response to the fan. I don't think he was needed. They get me as I say, you know, me personally, don't feel like Damion Lowe did get, you know, disrespected to the point where him did have to respond in such manner. You get me? I say, and I mean, listen, you see, when you're there on a certain stage in life, when people leave certain comments, even if I find it disrespectful, I mean, listen, you're free for reply, but I don't think in this case it was warranted, especially in that manner. I tell the man about the mother. You get me? I say, because you know, I have a question if was the comment in any case, you know, to the level where that response that Damion Lowe gave him was equivalent to the first initial comment. You know what I mean? And I just think as a leader of this team, you know, being the vice captain, they kind of have the better in my eyes, sweep. You know what I mean? And when they kind of ask fans to come at the national stadium, etc., etc., and Damion Lowe kind of cross him as a player, we think that thinks he's better than what he actually is. I remember who I listened to. I think Ryan I listened to. And Ryan does say, oh, the only reason why Damion Lowe did in a squad because his father kind of have a name, and you get me, I say, and maybe to an extent, you get me, I say, because people can have the attachment there with Damion Lowe, you know. I mean, obviously, he have good performances every now and then, but, you know, I think the legacy of his father kind of keeps him in the national team as well. You know, the way, especially since Jamaica, I try to qualify for the World Cup over numerous amount of years, you know, but you think he must apologize? I don't think that's yours.
Nah, I would say apologize. The only thing I say is don't do it again. Because what's the point? Brother, it means not a man of apology, no, brother. You do something, you did well aware of what you do in at the moment. What is apologizing doing? And the same thing with Leon Bailey situation. I never asked Leon Bailey for apologize. I'm not a man of apologies, brother. If I do something, I know I do it. I might regret it, but I'm not going to apologize because in the moment, I was well aware of what I was doing. Most of the time, I'm well aware of the consequences, and I just never, I wait up and I just say, well, I'm no business. I don't care. See? So I'm not want to apology, brother. Just don't do that again. Simple.
Yeah. Get what I say. But Damion knows still people. You get me, I say, big up to the ball I said way, but yeah, kind of step out of line this in terms of, being the vice captain of the national team. You're not to go so low. I guess he might live up to him name. Damion Lowe, you see me, I say. But anyways, people, moving on. Talk about the next person, Craig Butler. So Craig Butler people, I did a video about this recently, where Craig Butler went on his Instagram to express the fact that he was, or his property was attacked. You have to be careful. His property was attacked. Craig Butler, football mastermind in Jamaica, super agent, coach, technical director, the man of so many titles, father, grandfather, any type of father, adopted, whatever the case is. Now, Craig Butler went on Instagram to make a lengthy post, which is now deleted, stating that, somebody is trying to sink his empire after, destroying his boats. However, the boats, they can be repaired and be fixed and whatever the case is. But this individual people is somebody who was, once with Phoenix Academy, somebody that Craig Butler stated is basically family. When he was 12, his father dropped him at his doorstep, I should say, and, didn't look back at him. Craig Butler said he raised him for about 15 years, sent him to Europe, sent him to Malta, basically taught this person how to drive, how to cook, he was there for his family, his baby christening, and whatever the case is. I get me, I say, no, I did a video in which I was talking about it, and, I was clearing some names in terms of it wasn't Leon Bailey, it wasn't Kyle Butler, and it wasn't Whisper. If you read the caption in that Instagram post, if you saw it, and if you did the mathematics, it wouldn't have been none of those respective players, based on my knowledge, Whisper never go Malta, Bailey never go Malta, and Kyle never go Malta. You get me, I say, nobody never dropped Whisper at Craig doorstep, nobody never dropped Bailey at Craig doorstep, nobody never dropped Kyle at Craig doorstep. Kyle was basically at the doorstep because the same walk through go home. You get me? I say when he did found out her mother own, But in terms of this situation with Craig Butler, people say it could be anybody in terms of them attacking his property. But listen, I think we have to protect Craig Butler in terms of what he's about in Jamaica and football in general. I think Craig Butler is a stalwart in terms of what he's doing in Jamaica for schoolboy football as well as for JPL. I don't know why they can't laugh for, but Craig Butler is a very important figure. Get me, I say, Craig Butler is a very important figure.
Sorry, bro, I don't me a laugh. We might have go off topic, but this comment, brother, is just going back to the nonsense and the stupidity, dog, of these people. The man said, if you were in tune with Jamaican culture, you would have known, say, it means if you did want to say suck your mother, it would have mean SUM. Brother, nobody does say that, dog. I want to the future, dog.
You're a football guru, do better, man. Nobody come over and get trouble.
I care that you want to draw for, brother. I have never, brother, me and my brother, we joke around with them things, brother. You see me? In behind closed door, we joke around with them things, brother. We run mother joke on them things. And never you see we type SUM, brother. Always SYM. Everybody and their mother know what SYM mean when you see that, dog. You see me? If nobody tell you to shut your mouth, nobody knows type SYM to shut your mouth. So when the mother move like say, you don't want them take people for idiot, brother. Nobody now tell nobody shut your mouth and type SYM. Nobody never say shut your mouth as a Jamaican. That is so American. You see me, man, they say shut up, brother. You see me? Simple. SYM, everybody know what SYM means. So you just easy yourself, brother, and something like on the not say. What you, person?
Yeah, football guru. Me expect better Friday. So SUM, that not even a vocabulary in Jamaica. That has some, brother, addition and subtraction or sum up something or whatever the case is. I say, what's that, brother? SYM, we know what it mean. We know what Damion Lowe mean. You can't go around it. Providing the context as well. When the man say, yo, decking a man, the man I say, bro, you're not good, brother. You get me? I say, so Damion Lowe's a footballer. Respond and I say, yo, kind of this thing, this man, me even know if he work. I come tell me decking a man, brother. That's me a big ball in Saudi Arabia. Over the side of mother youth. You see me? I say mother everything. But people, back to Craig Butler now. Yeah, his property was attacked.
One second before we go at the Butler. Errol Shields, big up yourself. A bad attitude combined with the indiscipline will show in both words and actions. I might be wrong, but as an original baller myself, I think it shows on the field too. and it's not a good look or mature. And I agree. Me used to have some bad attitude as well, and it used to seep out. Of course, I was good on the ball. I was a very good footballer as well. But when you have bad attitude, sometimes, just like honestly, when you see me just charge off and get dark, and some used to charge off and get dark on field, brother. If a man will tackle me a certain way, me I run on all that God fling thump off. You see me? So, bro, when you see people react certain way like that, bro, of course it has an effect. Or exactly like that, them behave on a football field. So them behave with them personality, bro. Not everybody stay like that, because you have some man we are war about and when them go on a football field and behave professionally, and vice versa. But I completely agree with the Errol Shields. Big up yourself, Persa. Go through. So man muted.
Yeah. So sorry about that, people. So back to Craig Butler now. Travis Pessoa, big up yourself, must not come with that. So Travis not agree. But yeah, people, so I'm saying, Craig Butler, we have to protect Craig Butler. And in terms of who is responsible of, for this situation, in terms of the, damaging his property, in terms of his boats, his luxury boats, I think this person has to be held responsible, because, you can't have somebody like Craig Butler who kind of build you into the person that you are today. Senegal, Malta, give you one professional footballing career and whatever the case is. As I say, bro, dead for your family and take care of from your 12. Man, take care of from for 15 years. From your 12, 15 years, you take care of you, and you kind of do this to the man. It's kind of disrespectful. You get me? I say, I'm not really agree with that, because Craig Butler is a very, very important figure in football. As I say, Travis Pessoa say, Craig Butler, go to hell. You are a disgrace to football in JM. Leave the youth alone. Gunners. Travis, what did Craig Butler do? Travis, from long time, you and Craig Butler all this beef in Travis, and you bring it on YouTube in Travis. What are you beefing about with Craig Butler? Craig Butler saying Kyle Butler go Europe. Him saying Leon Bailey go Europe. Him saying Whisper go Europe. Sean Nathan is with Chelsea on trial right now. So what is the issue between you and Craig, Travis Pessoa? Is it that you have a son who never get sent go Europe? Me don't know. Me just ask the question. I get me, I say, enough time the man say, yo, Craig Butler thief or allegedly take people, baller, pick me, and you see me, I say, bro, and create divide between father and son or mother and son. You see me, I say, but me don't know. It's like Craig and Travis have this long-standing beef, people, where me need Travis to kind of fall upon the panel and explain the beef between him and Craig Butler. You get me, I say, or maybe Travis knows something more we don't know surrounding the damage of Craig's properties. The how you call it, yacht, or whatever the case is. You see me, I say, J Shy say, press away, say 9 nights later. Which team I play later? I don't know. Adrian, big up yourself. People, once again, if you just join, smash up the like button. Spain Town General say, SYM mean only one thing, and if Lowe said it, me agree. Someone need to get move up. Spain Town General, what you mean by that? What you mean someone need to get move up? You think I'm not like with enough of them baller, bro? Them go up on the pitch and them not perform. And when people criticize them, they have a problem with it. When them perform, everybody can praise them, but them can never take the criticism or forward with the ball game when them do foolishness on the pitch. See me, I say, in terms of Damion Lowe's performance over the two legs, I think he was the worst, people. I don't think he was the best, and I don't think he was the worst in terms of two performances across the leg. Where you think about that in terms of performances in them two legs?
The first game, I think he was excellent. He had a overall. No, the first game, I think he had an overall good game. Some people might say he had a huge role to play in the first goal. I think the first goal is bigger than Damion Lowe stepping up. That's just my opinion, right? Where other people want to think about the first goal, them have their opinion about it. But apart from the goal, the entire game he played well. Now the second game, he went right back to the Damion Lowe, bypassing midfield, kick away ball, wild man, out of position, lack of positional awareness. All of the frailties are the cons that we have come to know of Damion Lowe showed up in that specific game. And if a fan want to tell him, say, yo, brother, deck in a morning because Falcon lay some roof with me, because football and everything. You see me? After a poor performance, that is nothing for this a fan about. You see me? Just take it on the chin and move. And that's why some people, you have to respect not Damion Lowe, you have to respect Leon Bailey. You have to respect some other players that get slagged off almost every single week in comment sections, right? On YouTube, all over. And you know, ask them to respond because they know that it's a part of the game. It comes with the profession that you decided to be in, right? You cannot ask fans for you to come to stadium and not perform and things that the fans them now go. Fans aren't as privileged as you are to be in Saudi Arabia, right? If them can waste them time, waste them money, but don't get what they wanted to see in return and not cost, right? Him CM1, and this is not the first time Damion Lowe come on social media and do some things with suspect. Remember, him CM1 never did come out and say something when him did the MLS on him story about not being appreciated or something. Brother, this brother is too emotional, dog. For a professional footballer, you deal with them things there, your contractual situation, all of them things that you deal with behind closed doors. Fans don't need to know that. You don't need to post them things on social media, brother. You see me? After him retire from football, he would have perfect for the TikTok life, brother. Guy come like him love them things, brother. No jokes. Go through.
Yeah, you want Chairman Nicholson. Nicholson love him more than him, man. But yeah. Me kinda agree. You know, just going back to the Damion Lowe point, you know, I don't think he was bad over both legs. You get me? I say first leg, you know, people blame him for the goal. I nearly blame Damion Lowe for the goal. I think, you know, that's it's a team thing. You get me? I say, you know, one player not doing job, then everything kind of has like a domino effect in terms of how me see it. You see me? I say, but again, you know, some people in the comment section I say, yo, them kind of under them. Some people in the comment section I say them know what SYM mean. Listen, people, if a man tell me SYM, I'm not double check and say, yo, what you mean by that, brother? A business will get done. You see me? I say, I'm not gonna fight a man. You know what I mean? Yo, a man tell me SYM, you know what I mean? I say, see so since we people, I share the reason we're bridging and I say, yo, matter of fact, you go SYM, brother. I'm saying, bro, I'm just joking, bro. Show them what we mean. You see me? But the man knows, I don't mean that, brother. But I had an idea, a joke. You see me? But imagine if me they well serious and tell him SYM. You think the man I go sit back and say, oh, press, what you mean by SYM? Oh, shut him what you mean, bro. Come on, bro. We're all Jamaicans, man. You see me? From I go primary or prep school, me when I say SYM, brother, I'm not think you shut him out. If I out to school, man, tell me that. I know what you mean. You see me? I say, but take some comments still. The football guru say, when Butler was telling Ryan to SUM, did he say SYM? No, most Jamaicans use SUM on the chats in my experience.
No, brother.
Spain Town General.
Got you.
Yeah, Spain Town General say, if I did missing Greenwood. What do you think about that comment here? If I Greenwood, matter of fact, people, I think Greenwood not respond to my comment. So
exactly, brother. First of all, that's the thing with me. But you know me as a man, but I like if buts or maybes. Right? The point of the matter is Mason Greenwood not respond to no comment, much less. Mason Greenwood only have a social media just for social media sake. After, most importantly, when Mason Greenwood make a Instagram post, the comments are limited. So you have to reach the fast for you can build for comment. See? So, brother, I'm never going to respond to that because that's not realistic. Mason Greenwood not respond to nobody comment, much less if nobody have nothing bad to say, which a whole lot of people had bad things to say, right? Because of his situation, and he didn't respond to none of them. Not one thing Mason Greenwood respond to. So, yeah, bro.
Yeah. I definitely agree. You see me? But I'm not going to stress the Damion Lowe Craig thing anymore. Smurf, big up yourself. Spain Town General say, what you say? May everybody and them needs a pray to him mother know what a time to be alive. Oh, think matter about Mason Greenwood. So we'll get into that and share some information surrounding that, people. Kevin Face said, Presser, what I told you about the Mandem family. What do you mean by that? No, you mean. Premier 7, big up yourself. He said, Premier 7, big up yourself. Well, a Manchester United fan. Get your comment. Premier 7 say, if I was here and clearly was the person name mentioned surrounding what happened to Craig Butler's property. No, but we kind of narrow down the name. I'm not calling names still, but you see me? If you know, you know. You don't know, you think it's already. Travis Pessoa, big up yourself.
I want to address something. I don't know if it was specifically about what Kevin Facey said, but brother, this is media. I just want to say this in front of everybody that is here and who is going to be watching afterwards. This is not something we'll make up. First of all, I knew about the situation with Mason Greenwood's mother from February when we reported, right? The other day, just around a month and a half ago, we did a live about it, but we never dig too deep into it because it was not public, right? And it was not official as a quote-unquote official. See? Now, put back the camera on my face, bro.
1 second. Go through.
Yeah, so it was not official. I knew about it, a whole lot of us knew about it, but we're not going to fully report it. Now, when somebody from the Jamaica Football Federation in Roy Simpson comes out and lets the whole country know about this being a situation, You are not going to tell me as media say I cannot cover it. If you never want nobody to cover it, you keep your mouth shut and you keep it silent. This is media. We cover things that are the latest. And if somebody from the federation itself come out, Zine, and say this so blatantly, do not curse media for covering it. Curse the person in the federation will come out and give us something to talk about in regards to this. Right? So don't come tell me about the man and them family. It is they made it into the public, so we are going to speak about it. You see me? Don't come tell me nothing about man and them family and this, that. After we not disrespect nobody. We are talking about and pressing, as Pressure would say, an issue. It is an issue that is hampering and halting a process that Reggae Boyz fans are eagerly anticipating. So if that is the case, we are going to speak about it. It's that simple. Go through.
Yeah, but before we get to the Greenwood thing, you want to talk about Oral Tracey first?
Yeah, man, go through Tracey.
All right, so people. So Pressure feel some backlash surrounding Oral Tracey, right? Now, in terms of Oral Tracey, people, let me say this. Really and truly respect Oral Tracey, legend within the Jamaican football. But as Brazil Dino would have said over Ryan show, double down Pressure, and people might go double down and triple down. I'm of the belief that when it comes on to football, especially surrounding the national team, I am of the opinion, and a strong opinion, that Oral Tracey is a dunce when it comes on to Jamaican football. Now, I've listened to Oral Tracey with the Jamaican football, right? I listen to him when he talks about, Jamaica getting back to the World Cup, whatever the case is. And the only thing Oral Tracey stresses is 1998. Now, yes, I was not around in 1998, but I'm going to be honest with Reggae Boyz fans. I am sick and tired of hearing about 1998. Big man thing. I know say it is etched in the history books. I know that, that's the first time Jamaica, ever went to a World Cup. But in the process of us returning to a second World Cup, I am sick and tired of hearing about 1998. I'm going to be honest, people. I'm sick and tired of hearing about local ballers. I'm sick and tired of hearing about balance of team with local players. I'm sick and tired of hearing about people talk about the fact say, oh, a lot of these players from England, them not good, whatever the case is. I think what we fail to do in these conversations with the players from England is provide context surrounding each individual player. You get me? I say? But in terms of Oral Tracey, I'm not saying that the guy is dunce in general, because he's a very intelligent person. I have a channel, I listen to him when it comes on to politics, whether it's American, Jamaican, track and field, whatever the case is, I listen to Oral Tracey. But honestly, people, if you listen to Oral Tracey when it comes on to Jamaican football and some of the things that the man talk about with this national team, it begs the question in terms of, does he even know the national team? Does he watch some of these players on a week-to-week basis? Does he know the ability and some of the positions that these respective players play? It's all about 1998 and balancing the team with local man and all this type of BS, bro. And honestly, people, I just kind of stop buy into it. You get me? I say, no, the question is Oral Tracey pushing a local agenda? I'm having a video on one place. Let me just play quickly for you guys.
It might sound a bit like deja vu, like we've been down this road before. But we are at yet another critical juncture in yet another World Cup qualifying cycle. But we're going to make the call again for balance in the selection of the team. This thinking that has not worked for 25 years, that any player playing in any league in England is better for the team than any other player playing anywhere else in the world. Steve McLaren, an Englishman, was brought here, obviously, to reinforce that flawed philosophy. But we must stop thinking in absolutes and start thinking balance. The fact of the matter is, as a compliment to some of the England-born players, some of the born Jamaican players are conspicuously adding more intensity, tenacity, technical skills, and commitment to the team that we're not seeing when they are not in the team. Talk the truth. And we're not saying no foreign born or all local born or vice versa. Again, we're begging for balance. Just some more balance.
Commentary a couple of nights ago, right? And you all heard it, begging for more balance and, this notion that, the English-born players are better, whatever the case is, he's saying that it's a flawed argument. Now, I put it to you with that I think there's a misconception around this national team. And I'm going to also go further, and I'm going to put it to you guys that I would say majority, or if not majority, you have many Reggae Boyz fans who them don't know the player them will play for the team. What do you think about that, Can you? What do you think about the argument there? Most Reggae Boyz fans may talk about the football and they don't know where the player them play.
Bro, they don't. If you ask, what you name? Oral Tracey right now, which club TSC Palmer play for? Which club Damion Lowe play for? Which club Lati Bodier play for? Which club Dexter Lembikisa play for? Which club Amarbel play for? A lot of them don't know. Majority of the Boys fans, they don't know. They don't follow these players. So them just attack trash. What they're speaking about is not objective, right? If you're not going to make a point or argue points based off facts, then we don't want to hear what you say. It's just emotion. And as you say, he's riding on that 1998 wave. Just the fact that majority of local players were in that team, maybe that's the reason why I must say we need more balance. For me, I don't care about balance. What I care about is having the best possible players in the best possible system that suits those set of players. It's simple. Now, we all know that there's levels to football. And the level of the JPL is just not there. When we had an all JPL camp, them struggled to beat Trinidad and Tobago. 0-0 and 1-0 was the result of both of those games. And it was a very hard watch, right? And I don't even think Trinidad and Tobago had their best team available either. It was a second tier or half of Trinidad team, because I don't think it was even in an international window, right? So, bro, the JPL players are clearly not at the level to where we want to be at. If we lost, how much we lose to America the other night? 4-2. Zine, imagine if we had fielded all JPL players, or 50 JPL players in that starting level. It would have been worse. I assure you it would have been worse. All right, so I think the main aim is to get a pool of players, the best possible players that we have. Have a sit down, look at the qualities that these players have, and find a system that is going to work for these players. That is how international football is set up. If you look at Serbia, right? If you look at Croatia, those two nations are two different nations for a specific reason. Croatia is blessed with a plethora of midfield talents, and they had a period where they had one striker, but then they just have to work with. But they made have a core midfield talent base, and they created a system built around possession, keeping the ball, wearing down players, hard industrious work, right? And they would get goals that way. Now, that is a system that was made for the specific way in which, or the specific type of players that they had. Now, if you look at Serbia now, on contrary, they have a whole lot of strikers. They have the Mitrovic, they have Rebic, they have one next killer as well. Zine. So them realize that them in a situation where they don't have a lot of wingers, but they have a whole lot of number 9s. So they were either going to play 4-4-2 or they were going to play a 3-5-2, which is what that system is deployed in Italy all the time. And they decided, right, to go with a 3-5-2. And with that system, Serbia has done a whole lot of damage. So it's not a, Jovic was the person. Big up yourself, something. So them are 4 strikers, and them decide, so we're not no wingers, we're not no quality wingers, but what we have are quality above average, closer to the world-class type, right? Type of strikers. And that is what we're going to use. Those are our strengths, so we're going to play to our strengths. That is what this coach needs to do. Get the best pool of players together. Have a sit down, right? No matter where they are from, them could have come from Australia, America, Jamaica. The level of the football that you're playing is important. That is the reason why Tariq Magee could have done good against Nicaragua, but when he faced up against tough opposition, he looked like a ghost. That is the reason why Tavon Gray could have played well against Nicaragua, but when he faced up against tough opposition, he was crap, right? Because levels are important. And Tavon Gray is an MLS defender. Now imagine if you had not only MLS defender, but imagine if you had a whole lot of JPL players on that field. 50-50 like what people are calling for now. It just makes no sense. You have to call your best players available. And once you have your best players available, right, then that is how you're going to select how you're going to move forward. I don't think a national coach can just come in and say, "Yo, this is a system me I go play," and the team just have to come and play the system. No, that have club football, brother. Club football, that is for club football where you can buy players, ship out players if you want, ship in players if you want. International football is limited to the amount of players that you have at your disposal at a given time. So you have to have a system that is structured for them and to get the best out of their strengths and to nullify their weaknesses. You see me? And that is what I don't think Steve McLaren has done as yet. First of all, he has not had his best players. He had to be chop and changing, which is not really an excuse. See? But I just think he needs to just continue, be strong. I'm not call him head, I'm not call him be fired because I understand what this is, right? But as Smurf said, international football even more is a results game. You don't get to play a whole lot of matches per year. So you have to get results. And the only way you can get results is by playing to the strength of your players. You know, so you have a whole lot of wingers, you have to play a wide formation. Compact midfielders, coverage in wide areas. You know, so you have strikers, you have to get the ball to the feet of the strikers. What system are you going to play to constantly get the ball to the feet of the strikers? You know, you have world-class wing backs. You have to find a way to infiltrate those wing backs into the team. Are we going to play an inverted wing back system? Are we going to play a wide wing back system? You are blessed with a plethora of centre back talent. You play a 3 at the back system. See? So, bro, you have to fit in your best players with the best system. And that does not mean cranking all of them in the team at once. But it means using their potential to the best. As I mentioned, let me just wrap up now. As I mentioned with Serbia, they have 3 strikers. Zin, they have Dusan Tadic, is more of a creator now. They have Jovic, they have Mitrovic, right? And it's not every time Jovic will play. At some point, one of them off a bench, and these are 3 high-profile ballers. And that is another thing as well that I've seen Steve McLaren do. He have high-profile players in the team, or players with ranks in the team, and he's afraid to bench them. No, brother, when you have a system, Vlahovic, yes, big up yourself, Smurf. You're on point, Vlahovic. Sometimes Vlahovic have a bench. Sometimes Tadic have a bench because they have 3 world-class strikers. Zin, we cannot be trying to force players into the team and sacrifice the system. If you do that, you're going to fail. You have your system, which is based off the strength. You tell players to go out there and give 100%. And if a man tired in the 68, you know you have an ex-class player can come on and play the rest of the game for 30 minutes. That is how you need to run international football if you want to be successful. You cannot run it like a club football, brother. And worst of all, you cannot be saying you need 50-50 players, diaspora and local. That will make no sense and it will not work. The best players need to play and we need to find a system that accommodates the best players. Go through.
Yeah. Back to moral point now. To me, people, the best is outside of Jamaica. And I like track and field where the best, track athletes are in Jamaica, and then you have Jamaican athletes or Jamaican runners who are born overseas and then them want to come and represent Jamaica. Brianna Williams is one. And you probably have others as well that, them could represent America, but them choose to represent Jamaica because Jamaica is just as strong in sprinting in comparison to America as well. Now, in terms of this local thing, I'm not stop preaching people. I never used to preach, but to me, the JPL man, them for the national team, them not good. It's just the truth. And I said in the week that if I could replace Richard King, I would also replace Richard King. Now, yes, him come on against USA halftime, him play, him look good. I'm going to admit that. But still, I think we have so many better players out there overseas that we can use in this national team compared to a Richard King from the JPL. Who else there in the JPL? Like the keeper situation, I'm nearly bothered by that because I want starting keeper. And it's going to be Andre Blake for the next, 2 to 3 years, whatever the case is, and he's getting up there in age, so we have to go replace him. But once again, people, I always ask the question, especially not only JPL, but USL as well. I rate no USL baller. Like, I respect Tariq Magee, but I rate him highly. What is a JPL or USL player going to do against the likes of Panama, against the likes of USA, Mexico? You talk about top countries in world football. What are they going to do? And let's use USA as an example, people. When USA they go play England within the World Cup, you saw USA hold them on, England beat them, But USA play football. You think USA would play the same football if they did have MLS man at the team they can? You think so? They wouldn't play the same type of football when they play against England. People, I was surprised when USA in the World Cup 2022 play England in the group stage and play so well. I'm going to be honest. I was surprised. They get me answer because USA, very ambitious country in terms of what they want to do with football. And if you look at the crop of players that USA have now, they have players playing in the Champions League week in, week out. They have players who are starters in their respective teams in the first division of any respective country play football. I get me, I say, you talk about the likes of Christian Pulisic, Weston McKennie. These players are experienced. Pulisic was in Germany, England, now Italy. McKennie, England, now in Italy. You get me, I say, people. You have Gio Reyna, you have the likes of Tyler Adams, you have Pepe, you have Weah. Like, come on, people, these are high caliber players. If you look across Europe, these players are playing at the highest level. When you talk about a constructed team in Jamaica, this is where the Reggae Boyz fans are fooled. I think that you have a lot of Reggae Boyz fans. When them hear the fact that a lot of these players are coming from England, we think they're fooled by the fact that them things are the English Premier League. You get me, I say? So when the team not beat England now, when the team not beat USA, they must say, yo, I'm to them England ball here, brother. I'm to them England rejects. You get me? I say, but then again, people, we've always talked about the fact that a lot of these players that represent Jamaica, first of all, they would have never been picked by England due to the fact that they play in a specific league. You know, Akara and this playing in League One is not going to get a look in to play for England. So better yet, come and play for Jamaica. Greg Lee as well. Who else in our team are playing in League One? Latibody are playing in League One. He plays in Championship. These players will never get a look in. But what the Reggae Boyz fans don't understand is that you have a pyramid system in England where each level, it kind of dictates the talent or the ability of each respective player. If you play in the Premier League, your ability is above the rest in terms of Championship, League One, League Two, and when you go down the ranks. So get me, answer, brother. So I don't expect Latibody, I don't expect Greg Lee, I don't expect like the Cara Andersons of the world to be world beaters within this national team, and people need to provide context with the Jamaican national team. Now, you have a Leon Bailey who is inconsistent, right? He's good for Villa. Well, not so far this season, but he's inconsistent since he has ever played for Jamaica. You have a Shamar Nicholson who, you know, every now and then him perform for the national team. You have a Mikel Antonio who is a legend for West Ham, but that does not translate to when he plays for Jamaica in terms of his goal scoring ability. And it's not like he's a prolific goal scorer for West Ham anyways, but him scoring goals every now and then, isn't he? No, his performances for Jamaica can be questionable at times, even though he does offer something. Hold up play, you know, Jason gonna love that, but me really love him. I want a striker to score goals. You have a Demarai who has always been consistent in recent times, not so much because he hasn't been playing football. So that's the context surrounding his dip in form. Come up with 2 big goals. Well, not 2 big goals because we lose, but he came up with 2 goals and did himself justice to an extent. You have a Latibody who's not natural to the midfield, who Jamaica transformed into a midfield player who as fans, we're now calling for us to kind of replace him. You have Isaac Hayden, who isn't playing any football at this moment in time, so how is he going to be in the best of form? You have a Cara Anderson, who's still a young player that's coming up. You have John Russell, who he didn't really get a chance in this national team. Unformed recently, didn't get called up. You have a Greg Lee who, you know, at times in and out for the Oxford team. A Maribel, consistent performer, consistently plays for his team. You know, injury every now and then for Luton, but just coming back from recovery. You have a Damion Lowe who you don't know how to judge Damion Lowe. One time he have a good game and the next time he have a disaster class. You have a Mason Holgate who everybody can admit we're not sold on Mason Holgate. You have Ethan Pinnock who's a consistent performer. You have Andre Blake, who's a consistent performer. You have Dexter Lembikisa, who's a consistent performer. If you go to the bench as well, it's the same issues. So this team that Jamaica possesses, it's a team that is flawed with inconsistencies, and the abilities of these players, it's not at the highest level in comparison to the Mexicos of the world or the United States of America of the world. So when people talk about Jamaica and this national team, I think they're fooled by the fact that, them just hear someone come from England, so them think they come from the English Premier League. Oftentimes, that's not the case. And not only that, you have players that in this team that come from the USL, etc., etc. So how are you going to match up to the likes of the USA? That's why I hear Jamaicans that say, we need to go beat USA. I'm like, bro, when you get this confidence from, I get me, I said, this Jamaican team is the most inconsistent team I've seen in years. The team might have a look 1 and 2 name, but playing a local big club and thing. But form-wise, these players are not on the best of form. So again, how are you going to match up to the United States of America? So this is where I don't feel like Oral Tracey them do justice when them talk about the national team. You know what I mean? You agree with me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Chef, they are the big up yourself. And this thing now, when you want to talk about Richard King must be transformed into a CDM. When Hamir Hagrimson was with this national team, we stress the fact that players are not supposed to play out of position. I don't think Jamaica has the luxury in terms of individual or quality of within the individual players to play players in different positions. You know, listen, people, respect Richard King. 21 games for Jamaica so far, but I do not want to see Richard King in the midfield. If his best position is as a centre back, it's either you bring him off of the bench. in moments when you need him, or you start him as a centre back, but do not play that individual in the midfield. Oral Tracey is going to talk about the fact that he's not sold on Isaac Hayden. I think that Isaac Hayden with a club in January will stamp him being the fix for Jamaica in that midfield with a pair of Latibodier. I'm not thinking they're going to move Latibodier to the midfield so far. You don't think so?
Bro, it needs to happen. We cannot compete with these teams if we can't simply hold on to the ball and progress it. Jamaica can't hold on to the ball and progress it even once, All of our attacks has to be transition. If the team make a mistake, you counter, you try to do something, or you kick a long ball. Jamaica don't have the ability with these midfielders to take the ball, turn, progress. We're not asking to be a possession-based team. But if you cannot even take the ball, turn, and progress it with a simple pass through the lines, how can you expect to compete against these teams that are doing it 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times per half? It is just not going to happen. A faith and strong mind you worry about. Zine, and a lot of people back then, when we were under Al Grimson, in that performance where Jamaica played against the United States, did a big up Al Grimson for the performance against the United States when we get the early goal and we defend out with lives and then get a last-minute own goal. Now, for me, I was not really giving him a whole lot of props for one specific reason. You cannot play football like that for 90 minutes. And bro, football is a fair sport, Even though it's a cruel sport, it's a fair sport. See? And you can't go out there go play like that, bro, with no intention. Just a wait pan transition, just a wait pan some buck-ups, mistake for happen. Right? Yes, we did get chances. CFAS did go through. But it's just the quality, the game, everything will level out at the end. You get what I say? CFAS going through, he not go score because CFAS is just not of the quality to score. When you see CFAS go through 1v1 and goal, 3 out of 10 times he might go score. Yes, he have the speed to get into that position, but what do you do when you get into that position? Right? You're not going to do it because you don't have the quality to do it. So, depending on those laps in concentration from opponents to win football matches, it's just not going to work. So we cannot continue to persist with this Hayden and Latibodier, both defensive minded players that cannot progress the football. First of all, if it was Isaac Hayden that was going to collect the ball and turn and make passes, then we could have understand it. But Isaac Hayden, majority of the time, is not even involved in our build-up. Latibodier the one we're involved in the build-up, and Latibodier we know it come like in Giant Lodge. Latibodier can't turn. Zine? So we cannot continue with these two players if you want to make it in this level, bro. We cannot do it.
But you get me, I try to my point out the ability and the inconsistency within
bro,
this team.
You can't, bro.
Fans are asking for something else, and it's if you look at how Jamaica plays, it shows that the players they don't have that ability. Now again, it's levels to football. Me make a good point in one of my recent video. They can Big 6 clubs in England, right? Or let's use Big 6 clubs in England. You'll have a player within the championship where central defensive midfielder and perform exceptionally well. But it still not means a Prem club are going to really go for him. 1 and 2 cases them are go for him, but it's not to be the starter. I get me? I say this is Spurs bringing Archie. Exactly, But normally
you have to prove it over a period of time, and no big club now buying a baller from the championship. No top 16 now buy championship baller. After one mid-table club say, we are going to give you a chance. And if you go to the mid-table club
and then the big club will follow,
Eh?
I mean, then again, you have Liverpool where they do it with Robertson. You have United where they do it with
that wasn't from the championship. He got relegated from the Premier League.
Okay, fair enough. You see me?
Yeah.
So that's the best example I can give where you might perform in the championship, but there's still a level in terms of the step up to the Premier League. So that's the case with this national team. Jamaica competition.
And remember, them time the Liverpool league was a top team. Back then when Klopp just come, Liverpool was mid-table, so that even prove my point more. See? You now get top teams by players like that. You have to prove yourself. And you have to bring up Aston Villa and Morgan Rogers. But bro, you have to prove yourself. See? You have to prove yourself. Imagine Ivan Toney go through the ranks, star up, record scorer, how much goals the man score. See? And the best him could have get was a 30 move. teams never want to spend the money, much less to take the risk. See? Forget the money in. How much other players you see coming? Ollie Watkins straight from Brentford to Aston Villa. And remember, good, Ollie Watkins he never got to Aston Villa when Aston Villa was a team that they are now. He got to Aston Villa when they were battling for relegation. See? And it's a risk them take on him will eventually pay off. But you're not going to have teams where buy players or a shop at that level because there's levels to this, brother.
And me say that, me use that example before we get the call, and me use that example, people, in the sense that, yes, the players within this national team, they might not be performing to the level that you guys want them to perform. Because remember, people, our expectation as fans, it's different compared to coaches. Coaches know the ability of these players. So oftentimes, a team will lose the game by say 2-0, and the coach come out and say, I think these players played well, we just have to work on some things and whatever the case is. We might look at it and say, yo, the man them not play good, them not good, rare. But the coach is assessing these players based on the ability that these players have at their disposal, whilst the fans of this national team, we are say, oh, the man come from England, we must just go beat up USA, we must just go beat up Mexico, we must beat up Panama, we must beat up Honduras. Football for me doesn't work that way, and I think this is where people are fooled. So yes, the team isn't performing to the level that we want them to perform, but how much of a difference is the JPL players going to make? And take this off a screen, come and go reason the people them realist way, because this is how I'm going to beat the people them body.
No, we continue. No, brother, this is not going good. People, when you need for like the video, we are pause the show. We not take no comments, we not call, we not continue the conversation. This is unacceptable. How much likes you have, Presser?
No, I'm not really check them likes now. I'm just
we have 28 likes. I'm sure upon Presser channel it's less. So people, when you like the video, please and thanks. 148 of you guys are on stream, and I only have 28 likes. That is unacceptable. You see me? So hit the like button so we can continue the show. Go through, Presser.
Yeah. So reviewer, 1 second. I get your answer. Let me just reason the people them. This is how I'm gonna beat the fans of the national team now. No, I'm a United supporter. And sometimes me say, yo, get rid of Rashford or whatever the case is. But from a fan perspective, who should replace Marcus Rashford? They get me and say, a man might say, get rid of Kai Havertz. But at least you have an answer to say, who are going to replace him? Go ahead, they get me and say, when you talk about this national team, some of the players that people curse within this national team is the likes of Mikel Antonio to an extent, because them say not score enough goals. People have a problem with, what do you call him? What do you call the midfielder? The Casey Palmer. People have a problem with Joey Latibodier. People have a problem with, Damion Lowe. People have a problem with, let's say, relatively them type of player there in the team so far. Leon Bailey to a certain extent, because you have Leon Bailey supporters and you have people that support Leon Bailey. Now the people like Oral Tracey were called for the local player them. They've never brought it to the point where them say the players that should replace them. Bro, if you have players who are not performing to the level that you want, you better make sure upon God's green earth, the one them where you want pushing at the national team can perform exceedingly and abundantly above those players where you want to replace. Because if these players are not performing to the level in terms of against the USA, against the Panamas, against the Mexico, who are the local players that will perform exceedingly and abundantly above those players that you want to replace? And that's where they don't bring the argument. Because I've listened to enough shows on YouTube where Ryan will say to a man, so Carla, who you want to bring in a national team from the JPL? Boy, Ryan, we need to know the ball of them like that, but just get him a local man. How you must call for a man out of the team, but don't know who to replace him. I don't know if the man will perform better than the man. It's levels to these people. So you can't just say, oh, just replace them with the local player then, but you need to know the ability of the player that you want use to replace the next player. You get me? I say, you can't talk football like that. Review, big up yourself. What you have to say?
Thanks for having me.
Go through.
This thing with Oral Tracey, Oral Tracey is not alone to be blamed. Many Jamaican YouTubers are like this as well. And you guys give Oral Tracey fodder and you give him a ramp to stand on. I always say when we talk about players, we must compare players to what we have and who the players are playing against, and we must engage in some deductive reasoning. For example, when you look at the USA team that we played recently, right? Mm-hmm. At almost every position, those players were playing in higher leagues than the Jamaican players. Right? You are Pulisic play against play for AC Milan, right?
Yeah, McKenny, Juventus.
The guy, and we have many players playing for Jamaica who are playing in the second division and third division of English football. And they played against USA, and instead of comparing the players like that, say, okay, look at where the USA players play compared to Jamaican players. You guys go off on the players and beat them up, and they don't play good, and they don't this and they don't that. And you guys are saying there are levels to football, but when the players go up against players who are on a different level, you guys don't say that.
Hold on. Let me put a pause. Put a pause. Whenever Dick and my co-host and I talk about football, we gauge it from the standpoint of ability versus ability. However, it no means you must go out there and put on poor performances and nobody no critique you for your poor performances. You get me as a reviewer. You still hold on. You are as a professional player. Hold on, as a professional player, you're still supposed to be held to a certain standard. No, I'm not going to hold it to the standard of the said USA players or whatever the case is, because their ability is much more in comparison to the players that we have at the national team. But if me say a player go there and play for Jamaica and every minute he kick with the ball, give the USA, give to the USA for no apparent reason, I must bash him, I must cuss him.
That means there are deeper rooted issues. Is either No, come on, review. I'm not buy that, brother. If a player, hold on one sec. If Leon Bailey has an opportunity to pass the ball upon an overlap to Gray and decides say him not do that not have nothing to do with him quality, that not have nothing to do with him level. That is something where cuss worthy. And any player wants to do that at any level, I could have a son when may have grow him up for play ball, do that, he might go get it. Because that is a simple pass to play and make. So that is
okay. Hold on, no, you guys are not giving me a chance.
Not true.
The passes a player makes is dependent on how well the player is reading the game. Would that be correct?
To an extent, yes.
Oh, okay. And reading the game is primarily what determines the levels of football. So if Jamaica is going up again, I'm not saying yay or nay. I just want to have a discussion around the entire issue. If Leon Bailey is not reading the game correctly, it's because of his level. But the thing with Leon Bailey, if we're going to use Leon Bailey, our expectation.
You're not giving me a chance. You're not giving me a chance. But in terms of the Leon Bailey, if you're going to use him, this is why Leon Bailey get beat so bad, because he's held to a different standard in the sense that in play for Aston Villa last season, when Bailey was playing for Villa, and people are telling me say Bailey world class, I tell people say the money is not world class. People are bash me and say Bailey world class. Where's that world class Leon Bailey now for Aston Villa and for the national team? So if Leon Bailey can read a simple game in the Concacaf region and play one overlapping past the Taven Gray, I'm gonna have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I know you can't also poo-poo the Concacaf region when many players in the Concacaf region are playing top-level football.
I'm not poo-pooing the Concacaf region.
No, but USA is in the Concacaf region, and USA has many players who are playing top-level football. But I'm just using the Leon Bailey, for example, as a metaphor in terms of reading the game and how the player is reading the game, and that involves levels. So if you have Jamaica with many players, for example, in the Championship and League One and whatnot, and they're going up against a USA team, it would make sense to say the players and the USA team should be better able to read the game than do the Jamaican players, because they are playing at a different level. And they were selected for a particular level. Pulisic was selected by AC Milan because he reads the game on a particular level versus Shamar Nicholson. Would that be correct?
Yeah.
So Pulisic is going to play better on the eyes than Shamar Nicholson.
I definitely agree with you in terms of the levels. That's why I said. That's why I said people judge the national team correctly.
Yes, but many people bash Oral Tracey when they also do some of the things that Oral Tracey does, but not at the same level. You know what I mean? And I keep on talking as well. When we have this quote unquote mixture argument, what we are actually doing is lowering the level of the better players.
I agree.
If the players are not at the same level, then when the higher player is expecting the ball in location A, the lower level player put the ball in location B, and because they do not really. So when you have players from the JPL playing against players in the second tier or the first tier of English football, you're bringing down the level of the team. The mixture does not make any logical sense. You know, nobody will say, you know, put some of these students in the A student class to mix it up. You know what I mean? You know, this is the reason why Champion performs so well, because all of the best students go there. So, for example,
we'd have that conversation already, and I don't think it is worth it. But some could stick to the football analogy, them, you know, them type of thing there. But
yes,
I agree with you in the sense that those players. I agree with you in the sense that those lower level players would bring down the levels of the better players. So that's why I think if we're going to balance out the team, it has to be within the best of the best that we have to offer, which I believe it is outside of Jamaica. You get me? I say?
Yes.
So that's where the balance for me should come from.
And also, we don't do enough deductive reasoning, meaning if A equal B and A equal 1, then B equals 1. Right? We don't do that. For a person like Oral Tracey et al., you know, don't do that. They don't say, okay, the team have these English-based players and they go up against a USA and they play a particular way. Oh, get some local players. But the reasoning should be if the English-based players are better quality than the JPL players, if the team was stacked with JPL players, maybe instead of 4-2, it would be 10-0.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's the type of reason that we don't often do. We don't do the deductive reasoning.
And once again, review, I agree, because when Jamaica played Cuba, right, and we draw to Cuba and some of those respective teams, you know, we had an issue with that. So I'm saying these same crop of players, where Jamaican fans get this confidence to go up and beat the United States of America. And this is where me respect Ryan, but sometimes I'm not gonna say Ryan make the people them deluded, but this belief, no man, from a fan perspective, obviously me believe say Jamaica go beat USA. Sometimes even if me did believe, you see me? Obviously you want your team win, but where do we get this confidence from? As a fan, listen, fans from anywhere in the world, whatever, whichever country them support, or could have Pakistan, India, and football, they're going to have that belief in them. You get me? I say, but as I said, we have to have deductive reasoning surrounding the national team in terms of the level of these respective players in comparison to the opponents that we're going to face. If for example, Luton Town is going to face a Manchester City, you know, they're going to look at it from a standpoint that, you know, listen, this is our football game, but what are we going to do to nullify these opponents who are superior to us? You get me? I say, we have to play a different system that will get them. It might not be the normal football that we play, but on today's day, we're going to play a system that is going to nullify the opponent to the point that we can potentially get something from the game. You get me? I say, and I think it's better to draw your confidence from that level rather than just say, oh, we're going to play our football game where we normally play against a Barnsley or whatever the case is. You get me? I say, so once again, I asked the Reggae Boyz fans, where did they get this confidence that they were going to beat the US men's national team?
Yes, and also when we talk about you guys touch on it, when a player, you know, is not playing well at Manchester City, for example, they don't go and get a player in the championship. They try to get a player on the same level. You cannot say, okay, the English-based players are not playing quote unquote well, so go and get a JPA player. Why are you dipping down in quality?
Also, not to cut you again,
you know, why would you drop down from?
Not to cut it, but to cut you also make a good point again, and this is why, you know, people now reason like you review in the sense that if a player is not performing for City, as I said, they're not go to the championship, go get an next player. You get me? I say, because the level is much lower. You try to get the player in the same league that you're playing in. So with Jamaica, you try to look overseas where they offer the best in terms of if you play at a certain level, then the presumption will be that you're of that quality. You get me? I say playing that
Brother,
respective league.
I wish people would have more a push for Mason Greenwood, for the JFF hurry up and go get Mason Greenwood. And the JFF sort out what they need to sort out to get Mason Greenwood. That would have made more sense to me than get JPL ball. You see me? That
Review. Watching a review. Make a last point so we can get some more callers on. Because we have to touch on the Greenwood situation. And matter of fact, we can just transition after this. So just make a last point.
Yes. We have to be circumspect in our reasoning. We have to be measured. We have to look on the opponent. The Jamaican national team is not playing against itself. They're playing against other teams. And sometimes when we see Honduras, our team like that, and we maybe not know that we don't know the players, the opposing player, because they are not brand name players, we just automatically assume that the Honduras team is full of scrubs, and that may not be true. You know what I mean? That may not be true. You have to go and research the players and see where they're playing, and things like that. And we also, in my opinion, we don't give enough appreciation for what we have. Jamaica punches above its weight in football. We are punching way above our weight. Way above our weight.
Based on the ability of the players that we have, when you say we're punching above.
Hold on. I am talking about the Jamaica as a country and the fact that we can get these players to supplement what we have.
Okay.
We have a Demarai Gray.
But me have to disagree on that one. Because the reason why we can get these players is because they are a part of our heritage. So to say that we're punching above our weights because we can get these players, you make it seem as if we're...
Yeah, but what I mean is if these players weren't available and you left it up to the JPL
can't say if the fact is they are. Right. Because it's a reality that all of them can play for England. That is a reality.
Yeah, but my argument, but my argument is not for you. My argument is for the people who are going to go back to JPL. They are the people who I'm saying they are not appreciating what's going on.
We'll get you, man.
What I mean? All right. I'm taking my card.
Yeah, stick around as well. But yeah, I think Review make a good point in the sense that if a player is not performing at Manchester City, them not really go to the championship to get a next player. Them look within the same region, within the same areas. They get me. I say if United in that striker, them not go to the championship to get a striker. So if Jamaica needs a replacement for a player, for example, if Jamaica, I think they need a striker. The striker I have in mind is a player like Ellis Sims who plays in the championship. Who I think that's a respectable level for a player to play in. And I think Ellis Sims is a player that has quality and has a lot more to offer. He's 23, 24. But now I go JPL and me even know a striker at JPL we can come to this national team and bang in some goals. You get me? I say, Chef, big up yourself.
Yeah. Enough respect. Thanks for bringing me in on the call. I'm just gonna make a few points and some things that I see as clear issues with Jamaica not advancing. I feel like we've been in the same spot for a very long time, right? And everybody wants to see better football, and it's almost like we're not seeing that. And what I notice is that every time we have a new coach, the coach come in and they have a specific formula or a specific strategy that they try to implement. And in international football, what makes that complicated is that you can't just go out and buy whatever player fit your system. You have to work with what player is available to you based on who qualify to play for your country. And so we see these coaches come in and they're trying to play these formation and they're trying to break the players into playing strategies that the players might not be comfortable with. We need a coach that can come in and take what's there and utilize that and build a strategy around the players that you already have. I have a huge issue with our formation, right? The way we attack. And we haven't been scoring goals. We have an issue scoring goals. And we always leave a forward dead center. And then we have Demarai on one wing and Leon on one wing. So a lot of times when a Shamar Nicholson get the ball, it's him by himself. And he just does not have the skill set to take on two defenders and score. So in essence, most of the times Shamar get the ball, he's going to be in a position that just doesn't fit his skill set. I think we need to have two forwards. so they can play off each other and the support is there. Shamar Nicholson get the ball, the other forward can make a run, and at least in close proximity to get an opportunity close to goal where Shamar can play off a ball and somebody can take a shot. I think that's the same problem with Mikel Antonio. He's a back to the defender player, but when he gets the ball, his back is to the defender. Who's there to support? Nobody. So you're leaving this one center forward, dead center, and that forward has no support. And it shows over and over again that that's not working. The other thing I noticed with Leon Bailey, playing on the right side because they want him to cut in and use that left foot. But every time Leon Bailey gets the ball and he's dribbling with his left foot. He's not comfortable dribbling with the right foot. So the ball is on the side that the defender is tackling you on. If you can't dribble with your right foot, you have no business playing on the right side. Go on the left side and play on the left side. So it's almost like these coaches have a strategy in mind and they're using that strategy and the players don't necessarily fit that. One of the things that we can say about Jamaica and Jamaican players is that there's usually an element of speed. I think that is something we need a coach to figure out how to utilize that speed and take advantage of some weaknesses in the other team, because pound for pound, we're not going to go up against a US, we're not going to go up against a Mexico and play pound for pound football and beat them consistently because they're better than us. So we have to have a strategy that can take advantage of some of their weaknesses that allows us to get some opportunities and we'll be able to be a little bit more competitive and win some game. But if we think we're just going to walk into a game with the US and with Mexico and just beat them pound for pound, I mean, once in a blue moon it will happen, but we won't get consistent results.
Yeah, you make a good point. And, even the previous caller reviewer was saying that, we don't have deductive reasoning in the sense that Jamaican fans, when you talk, as a United fan, when United go play a team, me have to assess the opposition to say, okay, what strengths can United use to beat this opponent, whether home or away? You get me? I say, when Jamaican fans talk about the national team against our opponent, you just give that team the 6-0, man. Just go beat them 5-0. You see me? I say, and there's never an assessment in terms of how are we going to play to get that result. You get me? I say, let's not even think about backing up the net. How are we going to get a result? We need 3 points or we need a win in the first leg or whatever the case is. It's only, beat up Dominican Republic, beat up Panama, beat up Dominica. You get me? I say, they never assess the ability of other respective teams. And this is why whenever Jamaica gets a draw, which maybe sometimes a draw is a fair result, them cuss and say, the ball, them no good. Sometimes you walk into a game, and a draw is actually a fair result in terms of based on the run of play. You get me? I say, but Jamaican fans never look at it from that standpoint. Sometimes Jamaica get beat, and that's the fair result because you never play to get nothing out of the game. That's how when Damion Lowe fought on the Instagram and I talk about we deserve more. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about?
Me up when we see the man
say that was
when the man sound like one of them girl the way we left someone and say, "Man, deserve more." What you deserve? What you do for deserve? More deserve.
I see someone in the comments.
When we read it to say that about deserve, you deserve exactly what you get. You go out there and you perform like shit and you deserve a shit result. And that you get, brother. But deserve.
I saw someone in the comments saying that Shamar Nicholson beat 2 players and got the penalty. If you pay attention to that play, the ball literally bounced off one of the defender's foot and bounced back off Shamar. So it's not like he cleanly took those guys on and beat them.
Exactly.
That's not Shamar's game. If you get Shamar the ball on the run, he will beat a one guy. But really, the position you want to get Shamar into is where you can play off a ball and him have a clean shot to take the shot one time. You don't want to put Shamar in the position to have to take on 1, 2, 3 defenders. Not that he cannot do it, but he will not consistently be successful doing that because that's not his game. Personally, I would have put Leon up top and tried him up top a long time ago because he's not working out on the wing. He has speed. I think he will keep the defense at least a little off balance. But you have to try Leon somewhere else.
And the thing is, I made mention, me and personally discussed this. I think the Brentford formation that work well for us. With the formation where you did see Buemo and Tony together. But the reason why we don't see coaches that do that, and in respect to Jamaica, that would be like a Antonio and a Leon Bailey. I have Antonio, Leon Bailey, Buemo. And the reason why is because but just feel the coaches them are gonna do that because them not brave. Them not gonna say, in order to play this position, Demarai have to go whole bench. or Leon Bailey off the whole bench. And worse, we're not going to see that happen if Mason Greenwood will come. They're going to try to find a way to fit all of the players in the team instead of fit all of the players into a system. Right?
That's the problem.
That is the main problem with the Jamaica football, brother. We are trying to fit in because everybody knows that everybody here is not a midfielder. Why we are playing in the midfield? If I have a person in midfield that cannot take the ball, turn, lift up the mid and make a pass forward, what's the point me I play the man in the midfield? See? Especially if we have two of them in Isaac Caden and Latibody here, we now do that. How can I expect to win a football match, brother? And like say we have set piece prowess. Well, we know what they are. We can defend per set piece. If we get a certain amount of set piece per game, we can buck in a ball and defend it out. We don't even have that. So what are you really depending on for win a football match? Faith and strong mind? That can't work, brother.
That's it.
Apply a system and put players that match those systems. The best players that do that. If that means you have to look on Demarai and say, yo, you want Leon Bailey have to fight it out as the PST man to play off of this striker in our system. So Leon Bailey, Demarai Gray, 2.5 fight out for that position. Shamar Nicholson, Antonio, 2.5 fight out for that striker, physical imposing man where the man them can play off position. Zine, that is the type of thing we need for implementing to this setup. That is just not going to happen until we get a brave coach. We're not afraid to drop players. We're not afraid to fit in players based off a system. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we definitely need a system because, we have too many gaps. As you guys mentioned, CDM has been a huge problem for a very, very long time. So, I mean, there's all these gaps and holes in the team. And as much as I think Leon Bailey is a decent football player, people don't realize that playing with other players that's even better than him makes him look better. So now when you come from Jamaica where Leon is probably one of the better players, he doesn't have the support. So if you're playing at US, all US are going to do is probably have two guys watching and covering Leon Bailey because they're not afraid of the guys that are in the middle. So
I'm not buy that one day. It's an excuse that to Bailey. I'm not buy that. I
just the truth. And Leon Bailey.
Hold on. It's not the truth, bro. Like I believe.
Leon Bailey is not a Lionel Messi. You see, like how Lionel Messi can go.
Keep on mentioning Messi, bro. Brother, I don't hear about Messi.
The man can just completely go and revolutionize Inter Miami. You can't expect Leon Bailey to just come and revolutionize.
Bro, we're not expecting no man to revolutionize.
He needs players around him to make him look good.
Bro, I'm not expecting. Listen. I am not expecting Bailey to revolutionize the Reggae Boyz team. However, if a simple pass that if you play the simple pass. Come complicate man game and tell me, boy, you need better players around your brother. I always believe if you're of a certain talent on any sinking ship, you must stand out. Brother, I watch enough sports. Me watch enough team sports to see one good man on a team still stand out, even when the rest of them no good. So now no man come tell me about Bailey need a better player. Me need Bailey to stand out to the point where even if him not doing best, me can say, you know what, you try your best out of every other man, brother. You get me? I'm not getting that from Bailey.
It's not going to happen. Bailey's not that player. That's the problem. He's not that player.
And that's the thing. You need a certain skill set to stand out to the eye of fans.
Bailey's not the type of
player. For
example,
Cephas pace will make him stand out. So if once somebody see a ball play through and Cephas run left a man will left the match and say, boy, say, boy, Cephas dangerous dog. That is because of the eye test. Certain skill sets that football players have will automatically make you feel as if the player left that game doing something good. But when you
know one thing make you look on a player.
Hold on, brother. See, when you have a certain skill set that is dependent on others, and you have them type of people around you to make you shine, that can cause you to not look good. As well as, I understand where I said the man need to make a thing to pass, make it. But also, football is a mental game. Football is a mental game. And you see, if you're mentally off it, you're not going to physically perform. So one might say that Leon Bailey might just not have the mental capacity to deal with playing with lower level players than himself. Maybe that is the case. There are many things that contribute other than just him playing.
People, me put Bailey on the cross, brother. I crucify Bailey because when a man I go forward after the Canada game and say when him ever play for Jamaica, them only ever lose 3 games when him up on the pitch, brother. My expectation is high, brother. No man come tell me nothing about Bailey. Yo, what that the man tell me? Hold on. What that man is telling me is that him are the best thing since last brother didn't play for Jamaica, brother. So now man come tell me about him need a better player because Bill thinks that he's the best thing since last brother. So when you play for Jamaica, better represent my country, represent that well, brother. You get me? I say, oh, I Bailey them hype up themselves. Hold on. I Bailey hype up themselves, brother, and come tell people them are the best thing. Them are God. I feel him step that they are adopted father come tell people about when Messi and Ronaldo retire, I'm gonna be the best thing in the world. I don't come tell me no excuse me about being
generally it's back. Yeah, Professor, I'm not
gonna tell me about generally back. What we must expect.
I'm not giving Bailey out, you know. What I'm saying is pretty much what Jamaica think Bailey's capable of. He's not capable of that.
But him tell Jamaica same capable of that, bro.
But you say then everything somebody tell you gonna believe. That's what
obviously me not believe it, but
we see it on the field. It's not your mouth will tell you what you can do, you know. It's when you're up on the field. So Bailey and Craig can talk all they want to talk. At the end of the day, what we've seen on the field tells us that Bailey doesn't have the capability to be that forced effector. He's not going to.
So yes, I forgot lower my expectations then.
No, the thing is that we can't expect Bailey to do something he's not capable of. Bailey has never been the player on any team that he's the key person. And when he doesn't play, you can see the player the team drop. Bailey has always been the type of player where if he has good enough players around him, them set him up and him execute on what he's good at. Right? He's never been the player that's getting other players involved, making other players look better. But him come from Jamaica and we expect, say, all right, now, all these other players around Leon Bailey, Leon Bailey's going to help them look better. That's not his game. That's not his game. We need to put him in position to play his game. And this little thing that I see him doing on the right side of the field is foolishness. Leon Bailey can shoot. How many shots have you guys seen Leon Bailey taking in games? We need to put Leon Bailey in position where he can get some shots off at the goal.
Yeah, and I don't think it comes down to we. It comes down to the player himself. I listen, in football, a player can play an honest game and he can have an exceptional game. Bro, I've watched too many players play an honest game where they make the simple passes, they make things look easy. The game doesn't need to be complicated because, bro, prime example, when we watch Arsenal, I mean, we support them. When Ben White and Odegaard and Saka link up, and I see the man them all have some look 1-2 simple part, brother. I see someone all have some simple pass to Arsenal. And
you can't say simple, brother, because
brother, what me mean simple? Me mean
it's all about the brain. They are top quality players because they make it look simple.
Yeah, hold on. Yes, hold on. They might make it look simple, but hold on, man. They might make it look simple, but them still go for the easier option, brother. You get me? I say no to them. The easier option might be a 30-yard pass that them can pull off. You get me? I say what me I talk about simple 5-yard pass. Me see Saka them a link up with brother and a kill defense, brother. That me I talk about, brother. 1-2 give and go, bro. That me I talk about. You tell me say Bailey at this big age can give a look 1-2.
Watch it, bro. With regards to the point where Chef made, and this is what I did I said to you about when you're at the game, certain things you're gonna get full seat because the camera might just not pick it up. Do you remember when we did a cuss about the match at the National Stadium? When we did I say Casey Palmer get at least 3 chances in the first 5 minutes before America scored, could have started an attack. Remember when we did I say that? And you started those chances, correct? Now, one of them, 2 of them, by the way, were passes where the man sent for Bailey run in a situation where Bailey never wanted to run, he never did a run, and all Bailey wanted was the ball line foot so he could have get a shot off of the goal. Now, when you that's what we are trying to talk about, dog. The whole stadium see it. All we are asking Casey Palmer to do is just pass the ball for Leon Bailey foot because him set him body already, you know. We just control the ball him right and line up the shot right away because nobody never near him. And what Casey Palmer do? Send the ball yards away from the man team run. Leon Bailey head drop, the whole stadium head drop, everybody will get behind again. Right? So I just them simple things. And the reason why Arsenal looks so good is because the players them pick the right decision all the time. Majority of the time, the right decision is picked. Right? You don't have the player here that drop because the next man do shit.
Because they have a strategy. They have a strategy, so they know in this situation, this is where you go with the ball.
You can't compare Arsenal to this way you see under Steve McLaren because
bro,
Let me finish. Arteta and Pep Guardiola, they are absolute freaks of nature. Listen, any interview with any players and any interview with players or coaches around Arteta. Arteta will vex it up in a specific situation. A player will kick a shot in a specific way to score a goal, depending on the goalkeeper hand position. I saw them man them details, brother. and drill details in a people brain 24/7. So you can't look on all them man the football.
Yeah, but what am I trying to say? Me just want a man.
Compare it to Leon Bell's performance.
Bro, listen, me just want a man when him play for the country, make the simple pass, brother. Brother, sometimes want beat a man. You see, you remember Tyrone Mings, Tevin Gray. When you see Pulisic, you tell me say is mentality that. Brother, you better get your ass and run and trap back the man. Brother, come tell me about any better player running to come trap back one simple man, brother.
Why you bring?
I'm not busy for attacking and defending. You see the pass in front of you. Hold on. You see the pass in front of you. Play that ball, bro. Don't come tell me any better players, brother. Simple pass, brother.
Still because a lot of times Bailey have simple players and him don't
no,
make
but
them.
I share the same sentiment. But I also have played football when I just get fed up and tired when you have played some done said. And sometimes
yeah, brother, so look up our team. Nobody can play for the national team. You don't play for the national team, brother. If you play them not good, stop playing for the national team because
Tevin grade them already, brother. And honestly, even though my cousin and Bailey saying should I give Tevin grade the ball, brother, sometimes you have to understand say football, even though it's a professional sport, are still people that way are still cater for themselves in our way. It's a selfish and a team sport in our way. Right, and see the moment you understand that, you really you get to understand the full scope of football. Dog. Sometimes a man prefer go and game man we a shitting ball. If him lose it and him have to run back. Me I tell you that.
A prime example is Mane and Salah, but at the end of the day, we're not going to expound on it because them still deliver for them teams. So even though Salah might not make a pass, to Mane back in ideas, me know say more than likely chef them still are going to deliver. You get me? I say, when a man not going to deliver for my team and me see him do things over the top and I make the game complicated, I have a problem with that, bro. And I always say, when you're a stand-up player of a certain quality in a sinking ship, you must still stand up, bro. Give your best, so we can look on you and say, yo, Bailey, you never score, you never get an assist because that the boy they never kick the ball good or whatever the case, but you still make the simple pass.
It might try too hard, man.
You make at least 5 simple passes, so we can say, yo, Bailey, you give man them be a good ball, brother, but they're not good. Let me let the game answer that.
Bailey and Craig put a whole lot of pressure on Bailey before Bailey played him first game for Jamaica. And ever since that, Bailey has been trying to live up to that expectation, and it's a whole lot of pressure. That kid plays with a lot of pressure on his shoulder. And so sometimes he's trying to make a play when he can go with something simple, but he might try to do something for sure. Jamaica say he's of the quality that they describe or whatever expectation them set, he might try and meet that expectation. It need for just, honestly, if Bailey relax and just play simple ball, he would be a lot better. I don't think he's ever going to be the player who are going to revolutionize the Jamaica team. But I think he can be more effective than what he's doing if he simplifies the game. Simplifying game. One of the things I love about Cephas is, and I wish Bailey would do this more, is if you pay attention to Cephas, he's driving at the defense all the time. Driving, use your speed, drive. Make them take the ball from you.
But that's most not only speed in a shape. That's also power. You have speed in a football match and then you have power. You see, if you take the ball and push it past a player and run around him, you not only need speed, you also need power and technique. Now, Leon Bailey is not that type of player that is going to power through with raw pace and power to go through. Leon Bailey has speed if you send the ball, if him run it down. And he has quick feet and nimble footing. We can mix a man and send him one direction and go left him. But I don't think you can judge Leon Bailey the same way you judge a Cephas, because Cephas is, from a look on him, you see saying bulking is not only fast, but he has the power to shrub off a man if him say, yo, foot race, me I kick the ball, I run it down, you now catch me, I'm going to use my body, I can outpower it. You see me? So I think there are two different players. You have to make them different. They have different style of play.
When you look on Cephas though, right? And me not understand why the coach now zero into things like this. And you see said he's willing to drive. You can build something around that, and say, all right, Cephas, more you drive. Because now the last game, him drive the ball and him create some semi-opportunity and then him shoot the ball when there were passes. That's coaching. It's a little bit of common sense from the player. But when you get in the position, open up the game and use your other players. So
I don't want Bailey drive at players because he might pick up more interest because they might start kicking him down, you see me? Because he just not
that's something to consider.
Speed,
But what me I say is we have players, we have speed. If we take the players them and say, all right, these are the players we have, this is the skill set, this man fast, this man can do this man can do that, and you build a strategy around that. Steve McLaren can't come with Fiend's style of football and say, me I go fit Jamaica in my style of football, especially because we just don't have the type of players that can really adjust and be that broad outside that them skill set and what them good at.
And to be fair to McCarron as well, before we move on to the next topic, he did say in his last interview after the game that you know, some of the players, them not necessarily same one, better players. Cause him no want to say they're no good. So him say like him need players that can follow his principles. You get me? I say so. You know, he might be way more play in terms of playing out from the back position based football, but him need players that can, you know, take hold of the ball and be responsible and them type of thing. They not be afraid to, you know, bring the ball forward. So in terms of that, he must go either get players who already can play for Jamaica or get players where can get the process started to become naturalized and play for the country. But any last points before we move on?
Yeah, so last part me I go make, brother. I respect again for bringing for the car. But one gem what me see, I mean I understand why this youth won't focus in and zero in on the ball game. Tyreek McGee, if that youth can learn, if that youth can learn for acclimate to the defensive side of the ball game, him can be a really, really key player for Jamaica. But the problem is, and even I'm trying to remember which one of the goal US scored. Him did that laga. Him could have gone in and make a tackle. And that's the problem.
I think the one who policy score where them play to McKinney. Yeah.
I always have that issue with Tyreek McGee.
And you know, say it's not only defensive wise as well, because like we personally I say, for somebody who watch Martin Odegaard as an Arsenal fan, there are certain things in certain phases of play. We not only have to do with effort or defensive mind, but you see our body positioning, being able to collect the ball in certain situations, bulking up as well. Maggie, a 25-year-old, you're not supposed to solid. You need to have some sort of physicality if you have to play midfield in the highest level. Yeah, right? Your opportunities where never have nothing to do with defensive misjudgments. Where him just lose the ball because he was just too weak. He never have upper body strength. Yeah. Right? You need that in a top level football. And Maggie just has too many frailties when playing against a higher level opponents to be effective. Yeah. Right? He lacks defensive wise. And when it comes to being physical, bodily physical, upper body strength, when it comes to tracking and pressing, he have the legs for that. So I suggest if we're going to keep on calling up Maggie, especially in these high top quality games, cannot be starting football matches.
Yeah, no.
Come on, like when come on against the United States.
Yeah.
But I'm going to that chef. Come on, move on to the next topic.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think that's the best thing for him. For just.
By the way, which club you support? Which club you support?
Club Chelsea. Yo, bless up for the self here, man. Respect the show.
Yeah, man, big up.
Cool.
Yeah, people. Sorry about that. Yeah, so that was Chef, people. You see me? I say no. In terms of to just address something with Chef, you know, in terms of last point about Maggie, people, I gave Maggie the Nicaragua game. He did well in that game. Was involved in 2 goals basically, but I really care for Tyreek Maggie like that again. See him against the United States, a better opponent, and even when Maggie did in a space and have the ball a couple times, man kick away ball. You see me? So I really want to hear about Tyreek Maggie like that again. I just feel like the game is above Tyreek Maggie. It's ahead of him. We need better players, and for me, Tyreek Maggie is not the answer. And as I say, people, I got to tell you this: when it comes down to Jamaican football, a lot of people talk about Tyreek Maggie. They don't talk about Tyreek Maggie of now. They talk about Tyreek Maggie of the past at Jamaica College in terms of the characteristics and the attributes that he had when he played schoolboy football. And schoolboy football and big man football are two totally, completely different things. Enough people talk about Tyreek Maggie and even watch Tyreek Maggie film club. So how can I trust them with an opinion surrounding the player? That's why certain players within the national team, before I talk about them, I do my research because I'm going to watch them on a week-to-week basis. So I watch every look of videos and them type of thing, look on them stats. You know them way there. But Tyreek Maggie is a player. We just look on the quality of the player in terms of big man football, playing at the highest level in terms of, you know, the Concacaf region, and he's just not that guy. I think Jamaica should have been ahead of Tyreek Maggie right now, should have had an answer in terms of creative midfield or whatever the case is, but in bringing Ravel, Morrison, I never play him, but I just say football goes still. So I say, big up on the still people, smash up that like, but now I can move into the next topic, people. Mason Greenwood, right? And let me play a quick video before we get into the Greenwood thing. Sign the thing.
Sign the thing, bro.
My G. You get me? That's how we do the thing, blood. Like what, blood?
It's that all the Mason documentation that we asked him to submit, you know, he has submitted them. The issue is that there's a particular document that his mom has to sign because the citizenship is being done through her. That's what needs to be done. The mom just needs to sign a document.
Mason Greenwood, we keep hearing that he's interested. What's the latest with him?
With Mason Greenwood, the thing is with Mason is that all of Mason's documentation that we asked him to submit, he has submitted them. The issue is that there's a particular document that his mom has to sign because the citizenship is being done through her, lineage. So the thing is that that's what needs to be done. The mom just needs to sign a document. The document is her father, which is Mason's grandfather. His birth certificate, when we did the research, thanks to our people at RGD, it came up that the birth certificate did not have a surname on it. So the process is what we have to do is to do what they call a late entry name. Mm-hmm. So the mom has to sign that because she's the daughter of the deceased grandfather. So that's what's holding it up.
What's holding that up? Is she
reluctant? I don't know. I haven't spoken to her. Each time we reach out, she's very cordial and responsive, but we just don't know what is taking so long.
The last we heard, when that Mason Greenwood was trying to find out if England still had an interest before he committed himself to Jamaica. Is there any truth to that particular rumor?
No, I think we can rubbish that. I think his father and Mason has indicated to us in writing that the situation is what it is in terms of getting the documentation sorted out, and they are committed to come and play for Jamaica.
All right, so a little bit more specifics about the game. What time will the game be?
So that was Roy Simpson, and he was on, that's it, Fan Central or something like so, on a Center Circle, TVJ Center Circle. But in terms of Mason Greenwood, people, I think, as it clearly stated, this is bigger than Greenwood in the sense that Greenwood has done everything that is required in terms of submitting all documents. The JFF, they have in writing from his father and from Mason Greenwood that he's interested in playing for Jamaica. Now, to be fair to my co-host, a couple months ago, since the start of the year, or February, did a video stating that Mason Greenwood's mom is basically the individual that is holding up this process, right? Fast forward, MG did a video a couple weeks ago stating that the process was 75% complete. However, there's an individual that is causing some issues. MG never called no name, but I call a name at a later date, hasn't done so as yet. We did a follow-up video stating that the individual that we suspect in terms of being responsible for the hold up was his mom, because we did have some info that his mom is kind of the person that is kind of causing some issues in terms of signing that document that needs to be submitted for the late entry, just to verify whatever the case is, since the process is being done through her what do they call it, lineage? So them say it, lineage, yeah. So at this moment in time, we can't fault Mason Greenwood in terms of him not playing for Jamaica as yet. It is his mom, and for me, people, me hear people that say maybe mother don't want him to play for Jamaica. I don't think that's the issue. I think what I suspect is that there's some internal issues with the Greenwood family. In earlier this year when Greenwood was at Getafe, there was some discussion surrounding a potential divorce, and Greenwood was, it was claimed that he thought that he could save the marriage with his mom and dad because his dad had went to Spain to stay with him, seeing that he was getting back into football, and his mom stayed in England. So say anywhere where there's a separation in terms of distance, that can put a strain on a relationship. You get me? I say I don't know if she's living in France now, but I know that earlier this year there was a strain in the relationship and divorce was definitely on the card. So I think that there might be something at play with Greenwood and his mom and dad in terms of that issue. We have to say about that, because you did report on the mother kind of holding up the process a couple months ago.
Yeah, bro. Mommy just need to sign the thing, bro. Hi, Mrs. Hamilton. If you're watching here, just sign the docs. Sign the docs. I'm gonna use my sales skills, bro. I just find some craft to make you sign the docs, bro. Just sign the docs, fam. You see me? You have your conspiracy theory as to why, so yeah, I'm gonna allow you to.
And a conspiracy theory, brother.
Bro, it's not a fact, so it is a theory.
All right.
You don't know, so it is a conspiracy theory. So we
them divorce the cards, isn't it?
It does have grounds, so we have allow you to go through and make the people know what you think.
No, listen, women can be petty, people, because maybe don't want to say, Andrew. I had it for so much years and I divorced, I got divorced now. If you're not there back with me, you see me, when I sign the paper. So maybe that's social free.
All we do know is that Mason Greenwood and his father wants him to play for Jamaica. As you guys all know, Mason Greenwood's father is a white man. So I'm not saying it's not highly, but it's likely that even though he qualifies through his mother's lineage, it's likely
Mason
that
father white?
Yeah. So you're gonna just see, you have the picture. Him father white. Yeah, his father white and his mother black. So his father, more than likely, is a British man. And if his father want him to represent Jamaica, and he want to represent Jamaica, but his mother, who is where the lineage lies, don't want to represent the country because she clearly signed the documents for a long time and not sign it. Why is the reason she not sign it? Hold on, I'm finished. One might ask, is there some friction between she and Greenwood? But that does not seem to be the case because the friction, she lived with him, right? When him just a fall back in a football. She still goes to his football matches. See? So, yeah, bro, that there doesn't seem to be friction between him. So I think Presser's conspiracy theory does make sense, which I'm going to explain. But as I say, guys, once you look on screen, you see, I could just remove this comment. This was from way back in February 15th when I made the first video about Mason Greenwood. And in this video, I did mention that Mason Greenwood is 100% in touch with Jamaica Football Federation, but his mom, right? If you only can go watch the video right now, I made it very clear that his mom might be an issue. And that was from way February. See, February 2024. Now, fast forward, MG made a video about it just the other day, and we did a live video doubling down on that thing. Is Mason Greenwood's mom causing issues? And no, as you guys all know, something I'm been telling you from February, it is now made public by Roy Simpson that yes, his mom is the only thing standing between him representing the national team. He has done everything that they asked him to do. He has done it in writing as well, right? He's written a letter to them, letting them know that he wants to represent. It is just his mom that is stopping this.
And in terms of these people, I don't think it's a case where she doesn't want Mason Greenwood to play for Jamaica because, you know, she's not that delusional to think that he can play for England, right? And listen, I don't think she'd have a problem with Jamaica. What is there to have a problem with Jamaica in? You know them way. I just think that it's a bigger issue at hand, and I think that the divorce claim is something that holds weight. You get me? I say, and listen, if I was Mason Greenwood, right? Let me assume that he was not born with a gold spoon in his mouth, and I'm me forward and become a footballer, and I'm me put money in my family. Brother, you think my mother can hold up no signature, brother? Yo, I'm gonna chop off down there, brother, and sign that thing, brother. I'm say sign that thing, bro. We poor and me become a footballer with my ability, and you come try to hold up man process. Mom, are you mad, bro? Are you mad, innit? Mommy, you mad? Yo, if I never pay me, brother, you still at work a nursing home, you still at work a cook shop, brother. I want to come hold up man signature, brother. Yo, mommy, say anything. And me make a $1 million estate, brother. And me buy your Benz and Hardy, brother. I want to come hold power over me. Yo, before that, me take back every money me give, brother. You see me, I say, yeah, man. Me make a rich brother and come and hold up man process, brother. Not for them footballer, brother. Them put food on them family table from them 15, 16, brother. You see me, when the club them and do them some look under the table, brown envelope thing, brother. You see me, I say. So I'm assuming, say him never born with gold spoon in mouth and he make the family rich. Then the mother need to sign the paper. Simple as that, brother. You get me, I say. But Jason Guna say, wouldn't the divorce mean tension between Mason's father and his mother? Why would that affect the signature for Jamaica?
And the reason why the reason why that would affect it is because Mason and his father want him to represent Jamaica. His father has also been pushing him to represent Jamaica, right? So that's where the tension might arise. No true person.
Yeah, and Jason, what if the father? No, we are speculating. Now, what if the father did go Spain and cheat on the mother, and Mason have knowledge of that and side with the father? Maybe the mother say, "Yo, but you're sorry with the daddy, then you have this in the favor, but you're sorry with the daddy." I the fact said the word cheat, but this is not really, this is not true. I try to speculate to see, yo, why is it that she not signed the paper them, you know? And Jason, come on. Your man,
that's a woman stay, brother. What you mean? That's a woman brother. That's a woman stay, dog. Woman. Yeah,
but Jason, I say, what if Greenwood have knowledge? What if Greenwood did have knowledge say the man a cheat and hide the car? The man did not Spain. I know the woman them in Spain. Isn't me? The Madrid woman them, the Barca woman them. So baby,
Bro,
I said, Jason, we don't like fine.
Yeah, move like say you don't know that, brother. Woman,
Yeah, so,
you use pitney for all things over man, brother.
So maybe it's not even a get back to Greenwood or anything, but it's so I just said Jason because them did mention that divorce earlier was on the cards, so I just said Jason, I not say it's true or anything, but what could be the reason as to why she not signed it? Because what is she going to get out of it? And like she going to get $1 million or $500 million, and like she going to get an estate or anything like that, and like she could be mad to ask for any guarantees like Jamaica can't offer nothing. It's just a simple signature. Because as them say, people, Greenwood submit everything that is needed. It's just that they need a late entry and they need their signature, And I like say,
ask you this, though, Jason. We are trying to find out reasons why she hasn't signed. Why? More if I tell me why she not signed in. Because there's no logical reason why she would have signed. If Mason Greenwood has it in writing. That
don't let me see this tension.
Huh? What you say? Yeah,
I say the only thing we can see is there's a tension within the family.
Exactly. Mason Green put it in writing, say he want to represent him. Tell the federation, say he want to represent him. Put in all the documents, say he want to represent. But his mother for months upon months right now has been playing hardball. So what could be the reason for that? There's no logical reason for that. It has to be some internal issue that is not. Bro, them literally say the reason why they need the signature is because his grandfather last name is not on the birth paper. So them just need, because he's deceased, they need her to verify, say your father last name is Brown. Or your father last name is Hamilton. See? That's all they need you to do. Just verify that your father's last name is Hamilton. That's all we are asking for the father. So I like say nothing complicated. Just sign this signature that this is in fact your dad's last name. That is what is hindering the man from representing the country. Just that simple. There's no logical reason for her to be presented with that and not just sign that document to say that your father's last name is Hamilton.
And to add to that, if everything did go smoothly, then would I never even require her to sign it, because would I just go through if the surname was on the document to get me answer. So again, what would be the reason as to why she not sign the thing as well?
It's being told money made that really number part. I don't like Richard. Big up yourself.
As the troops that say sign that thing. So I just think that there is a bigger issue at play. I mean, I think is any case where she not want to play for Jamaica, like what Jamaica for this woman. You get me? I say like, everybody basically love Jamaica, and even if them don't love Jamaica, then I don't think them hate Jamaica. You see me? I say. But let me just bring up something on screen quickly. And this was the article from a couple months ago. Get up on screen, don't you? This was an article from a couple months ago. Mason Greenwood believes he could. Yeah, so Mason Greenwood believes he could save his parents' strained marriage by returning to Man United, with his dad in Spain with Getafe, Lowe, while his mom remains in Cheshire. I think Cheshire is in Manchester, basically. Mason Greenwood believes he could save the strained marriage of his parents. When Greenwood joined Getafe on loan last year, his dad and agent Andrew went with him to Spain, while his mother Melanie remained in Bowden, Cheshire, where the star lives in England. The distance has reportedly put strain on the marriage, and whilst there have been strong rumors that Greenwood would remain in Spain, possibly with Barcelona, there have been counterclaims it could impact on his family life. Let me see. It's also stated that the Sun report that Greenwood thinks a return to the Premier League could be a key part of making the relationship strong again. Does this mean a relationship between his mom or with him and his mom or mom and dad? A source told the website Mason has been very happy in Spain and knows a lot of top clubs, including Barcelona, are interested in him. And how did he go again? Barcelona did inquire about him, that's all. I think they did ask Atletico about him, something like that.
Your father, there, brother. No white man.
He was, yeah. People, him look white, I'm look light skin. No.
Brother, the man is white.
He was annoyed with United about how they handled the situation following his charges. so has always been reluctant to return. So because United did misunderstand the situation, he was reluctant to return. But his mom and dad have spent long periods apart since Mason moved to Spain, and everyone knows long-distance relationships can be hard, especially given the pressures they were under ever since Mason was first arrested in January 2022. It's been a very difficult 2 years for the Greenwood family. He thinks a lot of their problems could be solved if he went back to United. He's very close to his parents, so it's one of the reasons why a move back home could happen. Getafe have been approached by, Getafe Club Football have been approached for comment by Mail Online. Andrew has set up a base in Spain to help his son during his loan spell at Getafe, with Greenwood living in Madrid with his partner Harriet and their daughter Summer. Blah, 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 blah. Let me see. However, it later claims that Greenwood has no desire to return to Manchester United, as he felt the club failed to support him in the right fashion. So again, people, there was an article a couple months ago, basically showcasing or showing that, there's a strain, or there was a strain in the relationship. So, as me say, I don't think it's a case where she don't want him to play for Jamaica. I think there's a bigger issue at hand, and the only thing that we can look at right now, what we see out there in the public's eye, was that, there was reports about a strained relationship, and knowing how women are people, women can be petty, women can use things to get a get back at someone. So that's the only reason I'm gonna say what the people didn't sign as it is, I say. And with no other reason, then would have got it. So they can let me see. Let me take some comments. Comes up, big up yourself. Say, ask your mom to just sign the paper. So Mason, just ask your mom to sign the paperwork. Why should she turn down? Chef DR, they said they need a way for bypass the signature. Somebody said legal advice. Upper running say Maggie 16 and Palmer 14 game for Jamaica, and none of them as a goal or assist. They are not the players we should start at the camp position. Which other comment there? Then big up yourself. He said maybe she's not signing until the father signs the. Whoa, that could be something, people. What about that? That's something we can talk about, You get me? I said they can, He said maybe she not saying, what if she want a divorce people and the man try win her back and him not? So you want a paper? Me want a paper. So you sign the divorce papers and me sign the papers. People.
Yo, Jason go now. Listen, I don't know which part of the globe you're used to with women, but believe me when I tell you. She all have Jamaican lineage. So me and tell you, say, brother, you see Jamaican woman, pull up Jesse gonna comment. You see me I look by as a virgin. You see Jamaican woman, brother. A whole heap of things Jamaican women with them use them kids to get one over upon them man or them ex-man. Me I tell you that's something women know about. You see me? And the fact that she have Jamaican blood in her, brother. No, when they put that past her, bro, believe me. I tell you that, bro. It's not even an opinion of mine, it's a fact. Something I'm seeing. People were not close to me and people were close to me. I see that, brother. Women use pick me to get one over upon man, dog. May I tell you that, bro? Believe.
Yeah, man. I really talk, man. I don't know about Jason. I'm gonna say that. Not really. Maybe you never experienced it. Me never experienced that. Maybe
a privileged family, man, where the setup was just perfect and cool. Maybe him just not get to see that yet, bro. Me, I tell you, bro.
But Jason, I say, women may be petty, but mothers aren't with their kids. Well, and every mother a good mother. You get me? I say so. Some mothers kind of different in terms of how them operate. But if divorce is at hands and that was the case, then that's the only reason as to why I see the papers not sign as yet. Because as I say, it just requires a simple signature. And I like to them I say, yo, you need to go to Jesus and pull up your police record and every record of yours, and you need to go to a JP and them thing there. If that was the case, people, and she need to do that, then would I understand her frustration? I say, you know what? If I better sign this man, come have to go through how much loopholes we just sign one document, Maybe that is the case, because now in Jamaica you have to do one bag of things to sign one document.
No, they believe them, brother. Them say the documents are there, and more than likely it can be done via e-sign. If she don't want it mailed, it was mailed. We are in 2024. If she want it by e-sign, she can get it by e-sign, easy in your email. One click and your signature, that, brother. You see me? So I'm not buy that. No. If them say you just need a signature not hard forget. Believe.
Yeah. But people reach the end of the show. I have to make a run on the road. Don't know things said Thanksgiving. I come up on them thing the people. I don't think Jamaica celebrate that, but I know say Christmas dinner and them thing that fall up in December. You see me? I say people say I don't know. People, I don't know people eat turkey, you know. All the people that eat turkey. Turkey tastes bad no people. Eat turkey already in a bread and the worst thing me ever taste in a people. I don't know what kind of chicken that them say. I don't chicken, but a turkey. What a chicken family, you see me? But I don't like the texture of turkey. But once again, people, big up on yourself. Before we head out though, people. Oh, Jason gonna fall. I could get Jason. Jason, big up yourself.
Big up, what go on. I'm there in the car, but no, and I like, look, me now say it's not possible, you know. But it's like when I want to make this the leading, like the reason, you know. And I'm just saying, like,
no, Mr. Speculate.
It's a theory, yes, but it just doesn't make sense to me, and it don't have anything to do with privilege or anything. I'm lucky enough to have parents who stay together. I don't know how them stay together, because them go through all kind of things. But I'm saying, like, look, there's a possibility that is, I mean, I don't know what it is, honestly. I don't have a
I don't want to answer for you. We just try to figure out what that reason would be. So,
but just as somebody said in the comment section, maybe
what is promising is when the man said, Roy Simpson said that she's cordial. Every time they reach out, it's not like she had avoid them or anything. He just don't know why. The one that sound the most plausible, me see a brother say maybe it's a case where she really want the divorce and him not sign. So that make more sense to me than she does not do it because she has spite the father. Because at the end of the day, you know, regardless of how petty she is, you know, like something like that will affect our son.
But that still is using that. But that still is using our son to get one over our husband. If she use the fact say him need to sign and both him father and him want him to sign, want her to sign, to say all right, sign the documents them and then we will sign it for Mason go and play. So it's just still is using her son to get one over on her husband.
But what? Right? Okay, so what is she gaining? Because normally when a woman is petty, you know, she want to gain something. So what
the divorce that she again.
But they're not divorced from her not signing, so it's working.
You made mention of a point that someone else made. So correct me if I'm wrong. You said that one that sounded more correct was that she had used like the divorce, right? To say that's the reason why she not signed. Zine. So I'm saying, unless me I misunderstand, go on, explain it again.
No, well, I'm just saying that at least was something more plausible. But in the beginning, you were just saying, boy, woman petty, you know, so. But you never really say a reason other than them just petty. I mean,
well, when the person did bring up that comment, the mother said that was a good comment. We could have been to that one that, you know, she wanted the divorce and, you know, if that's on the cards, you know, because that was last reported a couple months ago. So we don't even know if that did go through or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, look, the only like if she's being petty, the only thing I can think of is like she's thinking, well, obviously I'm like Jamaican woman, kind of like me. So if Mason and him go over and play for Jamaica and get a new woman, that's the only thing that maybe, you know, but even then that's like so far-fetched, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's but
there's definitely something bigger at play that we don't obviously know about and we just speculate, you know, because if it's a simple signature, then
if it's just
and as we said, Jason,
of a woman, that's crazy.
And as we said, Jason, like me, I'm a professional footballer, and assuming that them never rich, and you know, me kind of use my ability and get the family to a level like you'd expect. Say your mother would have like, you know, them way they push you through any doors to like make you better or put you in a better situation. You know them way because that's what mothers do, you know. So
and
I don't think it's a case where she just have anything with Jamaica or anything like that.
And by all accounts, when he got into the trouble, you know, one of the things that kind of helped his cause a lot was the family structure. Like he have parents that bring him up, you know, sort out him life, help him get to where him get to in football. So for them to just make a 180 turn because them divorce or them going through them problem, at the end of the day, remember say them two raise the picnic, you know. A lot of times, you know, when that pettiness wear off of the divorce and thing, you know what galvanize it and make you can actually have a relationship with your ex at the picnic. So that's why it's a little strange to me that it would be like a bargaining chip in any sort because it just don't match up with how them live them life with the picnic. Even after them separate, them still take care of the picnic. So it
and I mean, even though I mean the good thing for Reggae Boyz fans is that it just requires one simple signature. You get me? I say, so I like say a document lost or anything where them need to go dig up and it's just a simple signature. So I guess the fans can still
really, you know what this really proved though? Say Jamaica really no. Because a man can have a birth certificate and the name not upon it.
Yeah, but that question I say, but then again, I watch Eddie and Eddie I say, he used to work at IGD and him say that I don't know. My name said no surname not upon the birth certificate them while.
And a real place. But yeah, that's that me there call about still. I mean, look, obviously we not have a way for, well, maybe we could. I mean, one of us in the YouTube world making videos, contacting people, we need to try just reach out and just try figure it out, because at the end of the day, I don't believe that us speculating about why she not signing is helpful.
But you think, let me ask you this, Jason, you think it's a case where this is where Steve McLaren comes in now in terms of paying a visit to the parent and trying to get it over the line?
Well,
or you think that would be out of line?
My first thought when I watched that interview was, if I was the JFF, I would send a representative of the federation to her address with the paper. I mean, because clearly they've been waiting for her to send it and it's not being sent.
No, man, them say she have it.
Eh?
Them say she have it. Them say the only thing
would I reach out and say, hey, we're in town. We just wanted to stop by and grab the paper and see what kind of response you get, because I don't know. I mean, I would have to find out more than just, well, she not sign it yet.
Maybe them don't want to be too forceful since it all hinges on her. So if she feels as if she is being forced or coerced into do something that she does not want to do, and they do not understand that, then they're not gonna do something like that.
True, but based on how he described the situation with it being cordial, I don't see that them reaching out would mean that they're pressuring her.
Reaching out in that way, saying, yo, we're in England now, can we drop by for you to sign the documents, when you should already know, say, you need her to sign the documents and you can reach her via phone call. That does seem like coercion.
No, I'm not saying to find the address and show up, I'm saying call her and say, hey, we have a representative in England now talking to players. We're gathering up documents. To make it easier for you to drop it in the mail, you can come by and just see her response. I'm just saying, have they tried that? I don't know if they tried that. But
I think they have the
they would have
solution
to
to
frame
this.
it the right way. You can't just call and say, hey, look here, man, we're forward, 3 days. If you don't have it, we're go, like
I think I have the perfect solution. I know I'm gonna reach out to. I think to get the signature, we need to send John Wick. Yeah. John Wick. You see, just send John Wick and you can get the signature. I don't make people that say the John Wick. But listen, it's a new year. I guess everybody have a new year, so I guess Reggae Boyz fans can hope for a new year resolution in terms of she signing that document, But I mean, it is what it is still.
We know I'm calling for the Greenwood thing, but I did miss the beginning of the video, presser. I'm gonna ask you something. The other day, I see you make a video about oral Tracey, right? I'm gonna see the people in the comment that beat you. I'm gonna see you apologize to everybody who comment. So, you double down again today, or what oral Tracey stuff was about today?
No man, he might push this local thing, and I'm just not of the opinion that the local man them good, and it's not a disrespect to the local player them, right? Himself never sold upon Isaac Hayden, whatever the case is. I mean, his opinion. But the reason I'm a double down is because I never call him dunce over. I'm just say I feel like him dunce the Reggae Boyz football. I get me, I say, son, I like him, I think the man dunce. It's just when he come on to Jamaican football. He says some things I really agree with.
Yeah, I agree. He says a lot of things I don't agree with either. That's true. But listen, man, if you're going to say things and you're going to put it out there, don't bother apologize if you're going to go back and cuss the next day. It's not a good look. Right? Don't
Yo, they cannot. May I go run say any show for me here?
Yeah, bro, that's the word, man.
Yeah, that's that me want to make it.
Best of people.
If you're going to forward out with them kind of thought, have a backbone, brother. If I saw you feel, I saw you feel.
Mm-hmm. Really
anyway,
true.
Bro, that's the word. Yeah, guys,
I reach any show for me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man, man, does it. So, yeah, guys, reach the end of the show. So, as you guys all know, we are just wrap it up with the punk of the week. I really press a shit of the year for getting the punk of the week, but yeah, the punk of the week this week was nominated by Presser himself, and I think you guys can easily guess who the punk of the week is gonna be. So yeah, I'm seeing that comment section. I don't know how to put it up. All right, make oral fans go ahead, Jairus, big up yourself, and none other than the man himself, Oral Tracey for the Punk of the Week, nominated by none other than 433 presser, Kishan Legisla. So yeah, guys, that is it for this episode. You have your Punk of the Week, Oral Tracey. And yeah, stay tuned. We're supposed to have another show today, Saturday. Supposed to have another show tomorrow if we have topics to talk about. But yeah, guys, that's it. Remember, subscribe. I'm gonna check my subscriptions and guys, I don't like on the deal with the likes them this show. Like how much likes we have? We have 51 likes. Normally we would have more, and we'll get a whole lot of viewership this time around. So before you guys leave, just go ahead, smash the like button. Also, subscribe if you're new. If you have not yet hit that subscribe button, we not only do live shows, we do pre-recorded videos on both of our channels, Gunners and 433 Presser. So just go ahead and subscribe to 433 Presser if you're from Gunners, and if you're from 433 Presser as well, then you can just come over to Gunners and hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching, and yeah, that's it for this video. We'll see you next time. Peace. It's time to rise up.